I'm Lauren Honigman, lawyer and former City TV's legal specialist. The following episode of FOTMCast is intended for real heads only. If you're not deeply immersed in the TMU, a devout FOTM, do not listen. I'm not kidding. Stop playing this episode now.
Somehow our innocence is lost.
A little flat on innocence, but other than that, it was great. We'll go again. Huh?
One more time.
Somehow our...
That's my sound, man.
Of course I remember Sense of Feel there.
TMU for a quarterly review of fact checks, figures, and phrases that you didn't know you needed. It's FOTMcast with your hosts, Toronto Mike, Cam Gordon, and Tyler Campbell.
Was that always canned, or did you used to do it live?
That was always canned.
That was. Did you remember that, Cam? That part was in the recording. Like I always thought that was VP doing it live.
The music?
No, the intro part.
Oh,
where's your fucking keyboard?
I don't know. I don't recall.
I think he's
doesn't care.
He's
He doesn't
changed.
care.
Something's changed with Cam.
No, I'm just annoyed that the bus took so long. Like every time.
Well, welcome everybody to episode 1874. That's 1874. That is precisely 1 century before the VP and I were born.
Hey-o.
Of Toronto Mike, an award-winning podcast proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery. Order online at greatlakesbeer.com for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees. From Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Visit palmapasta.com for more. Fusion Corp's own Nick Iones. He's the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Mike and Nick, 2 podcasts that you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, returning for this 9th episode of FOTMcast. It's Cam Gordon. Oh, I ran out of song.
Oh, yeah, it's a short song.
Oh, let's do it again. Just kidding. Okay, and of course, the VP of Sales, Tyler Campbell. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Because that's the first time we used that intro. I thought we had the Whitney Houston. We changed it up.
You're not paying attention.
I am paying
attention. He picks a song relevant to the previous quarter,
Topical
and I know
song.
Why Tyler chose that song. It's because I have finally seen Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and I have declared it to be the greatest Toronto movie in the history of our time.
And I agree with you. Everyone seems to love it. I loved it.
Well, not everyone, because I wrote about it on torontomike.com, and the first 2 people to comment were like, oh, I could barely get through it, or
the humanity.
Oh, I expected so much better. So, one man's treasure is another man's trash.
Yeah, I had to go on the internet to share these
That's
things.
right. But I do want you, Cam Gordon, to see this movie. Maybe we'll do an episode and discuss. Like it's that Toronto. This is the most, and I know Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and of course Going Down the Road, and we could go on with the various Toronto films that unabashedly feature Toronto playing Toronto. Not like Short Circuit 2 that didn't play Toronto, but like this is, I won't, if I told you about the cameos by the Rivoli or the Dome or the CN Tower or the TTC
Roz and
or
Mocha
or CP24, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
This is the most Toronto movie, and it is fucking funny.
I loved it.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing
and
well.
that song plays a key role.
Yeah, that's a Canadian song. I always thought that was Naked and Famous, that band. It sort of sounds
same vibe.
Brave Shores.
Brave Shores, and so Brave Shores is a brother-sister collective, much like Len. Maybe brother-sister bands is a Toronto thing. Len is a Toronto band.
There you go.
I don't know.
Cowboy
the Carpenters are a Toronto
Carpenters.
band.
Yeah, of course.
What's this say? The Cowboy Junkies, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a
Timmins?
brother sister. Yeah, you're right. Margot and Michael.
Yeah.
Is that
Eminem?
Michael?
Yeah.
You're right.
A
but
rich history.
We're joking about the Carpenters before Bob Willett writes me an email. Mike, you know the Carpenters are not from Toronto.
Mike Myers and Paul Myers.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and
Peter.
Peter, of course.
Who loves his Palma pasta.
Yeah,
lasagna.
shout out to Peter. He was probably listening.
Peter's the one of the three most likely to listen to us right now. You were going to say?
PM. It's the initials.
Oh, there's...
Anyway, this
you
is
guys
compelling.
remember? Do you remember PM Toronto?
Yes, I do. And actually, my trawling around the now archives, I found Ziggy Lawrence.
Of course. Is there any? You don't need to tell us the last name of Ziggy.
Well, Ziggy could be from The Wire, whatever. Sabatka.
Oh.
Yeah, but there was
Shout
I
out to
found
Ridley
an
Funeral
ad. It was a singles night hosted by Ziggy.
Wow.
Host of Mush Music.
Yes.
Was right in the ad. I'll send it to you guys. It's
That's
pretty
hot.
Cool. Yeah.
I believe Storm and Norman used to do remotes from PM Toronto, like in the Leaf.
I think so,
playoff,
too.
Like in the early 90s.
1,000%.
Yeah.
That sounds about right here. So we have a lot of catching up to do off the top. And then, of course, there is a structure to these episodes. And, I'm just going to play a song, but I don't actually have it loaded up.
Uh-oh.
So,
There.
Holy shit. Look at that. That I would actually hang that in my...
okay, that's
home.
pretty rad.
Cool. She looks
Hey,
like Brigitte Nielsen.
even though you were here for like a half an hour before I pressed record, Tyler, we never connected you to my board.
Oh, shit. We didn't.
Yeah,
Do you have a cable?
No, what I was hoping is maybe we do a little update off the top.
Yeah.
And I think most importantly, this was a big quarter for Cam Gordon.
Was it ever?
Like, I'm telling you, he's everywhere. The Globe and Mail, he's Toronto mic'd, he's talking to Connie Thiessen. Like, were you on breakfast television?
I did pitch them. I never heard back.
Okay, but why don't you tell, while I get this cable and set up Tyler and then find this song I was going to play, why don't you just update everybody listening in the TMU about this big quarter for you, man?
Yeah, it's been awesome. So for those of you who don't know, my first book came out, Track Changes: The Origin Story of Canadian Music on the Internet, 1990 to 2010. I always catch myself. I want to say Track Changes: The Ongoing History of New Music. Yeah, it's great. The people seem really into it. We had a great launch event that Mike, you were a big part of at Handlebar. Tyler was also there, and a lot of the listeners, which was great. Really like fun room of people, and Shad showed up, and Gentleman Reg I saw there.
Shad showed up.
Yeah.
And then he became a big part of the news when Drake kind of slagged him when Drake was on the Junos.
Like
celebrating
an old beef.
Nelly Furtado. But so Shad got named erroneously and unfairly so. Shad got dragged by Drake on the Junos mere days after we were hanging with the man.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like why open up these?
Also, but it's wrong. I don't mind that it's dumb. I'm a big fan of dumb. You know that. I have Tyler on every single quarter.
Hey now, come on.
But save that for the Elmo gig, okay? But I'm a big fan of dumb. But he's wrong. Like he thinks he lost the 6 Junos in this year to Shad. Shad's like, I think he's only ever won 1 Juno. That's not how it went down.
It's honestly just not a good look for Drake.
No,
it's like, really,
it's petty.
dude? Like what?
It's about Nelly Furtado.
And who gives a fuck about a goddamn Juno? You know I've been saying that forever, okay?
You have.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, did you see the ratings were like incredible for it?
I like the Junos. Yeah. I watched every minute of that.
It seemed like a real big deal. Like a lot. Joni Mitchell was there, and the other PM showed up, and Rush obviously.
Is that Mark Carney?
Yeah.
The other PM. Okay. I'm loading in the song because I'm gonna put it in the background, and you two were scheduled to visit for FOTMcast on April 1st.
We were.
And I had this loaded up to play.
Right.
And you did not show up on April 1st.
Literally other Canadian songs about April 1st, but this technically is not April 1st.
Oh, you know what? I loaded up the wrong fucking song. You know what? It's too early.
What are we doing here?
Okay.
Just making a change.
I'm embarrassed.
What are we doing?
I'm embarrassed. So
Okay.
I'll call up the song in a moment and do that whole spiel again.
I thought that was like a thought experiment
You know,
or something.
That honestly, it's early on it's a Good Friday.
Anyway.
Okay.
And any reason to play first day of spring.
Oh,
is
yeah.
great anyway, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
It's like what the
I can't believe
12th
I'm
day of
loading in the
spring.
wrong jam over here. Oh my God, I'm off my game completely here. So you had a good quarter. You launched your book, and
Yeah.
I saw that it got a lot of press recognition, and a lot of people came out to support you, Cam. How does that feel to be so supported?
Honestly, it's incredibly humbling, and
and to say nothing of the FOTM community.
There was a big
in full
turnout by
force,
FOTMs at that event.
And always appreciated. Like everyone I speak to is really into this. Again, it's very. I'd say like it's very, very satisfying. Because as you guys know, like I've been working on this for a long time. And yeah, like more to come. I have other sort of promotional activities planned, but I do feel like I've kind of tapped into something. This idea of just talk about everything we've lost, all these internet websites and technology and whatnot, and what it all means and how do we best preserve it. I've had some deep conversations with the likes of Jeremy Hopkin and other folks in this space. Retro Ontario was helpful as I was putting this together. So more to come. I can't give enough thanks to anybody. We bought a copy, followed the Instagram account, was someone to talk to as I put this together.
Your parents were selling copies at the event?
Parents. I put my 80-year-old parents to work. Did you guys talk to my daughter? You see, she was like
no, I saw
lurking.
her with like girlfriends.
Yeah, so
like,
she was there with her little pals and my nephew Charlie. So yeah,
I met Charlie because
Yeah.
your mom introduced me. Linda introduced me to Charlie.
Okay, yeah, it was a great night. It was just like a really fun room of people, like former coworkers, current coworkers, you guys, people I didn't know. Like
Andy, I want to shout her out because she took video of my 5-minute speech. It was a 3-minute speech that became a 5-minute speech, but I got a video.
It was great. Yeah. We got some good like photos of you on stage too. I quite like that venue too.
Yeah,
I feel like it's
Handlebar.
kind of underrated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a great night. And,
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Like a
I loved it.
full house, and like everyone was there for you, and we're very proud of you and very
Thank
happy
you.
that your book is out. And what a great
Any plans
accomplishment.
to write a sequel? Or even better, a TMU edition where it's hyper-focused on all things in the TMU.
I would say I do have an idea that I'm starting to obsess over on a second book. So stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Track changes.
Yeah.
So this is the song I was planning to play on April 1st.
Yeah.
And I have a memory of being at the Ontario Place Forum to see Chalk Circle, but not really knowing any of the songs. And then they played this, and I remember having this, and I was like, 10 years old or whatever. And I had a moment of like, oh, that's the song I heard on the radio. Like, it was exciting to hear a song that I knew from the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a moment for me.
Were you just at Ontario Place and they
I don't know. Like, I wasn't there alone because I was 10. Like, so this would be like parents bringing you there.
Oh,
and
Chalk
I don't
Circle's
know
playing.
how there was no way it was like, we're going to see, we're going to see
Get in the
Chalk
car, kids.
Circle.
We're going
Chris
to see
Tate
Chalk Circle.
kicks ass. Okay, everybody.
They like sat you down, like with
So-
their wringing their hands. Mike.
I'm sure we were at Ontario Place for other reasons, and then, okay, there's a free concert happening here. Let's go check it out.
It would have been funny if it's a Mike, we're going to see Michael Jackson. Then April Fools, it's actually Chalk Circle who's had the song April Fool.
Or maybe
not
they
April
thought
Fools.
they were taking you to see the Lazarettes.
See, that's perfect content for this episode.
Absolutely.
A reminder
We
to
go
the
deep here.
listenership.
Deep
And then,
cut.
Lauren warned you at the beginning. I'm going to do it one more time before we get into it. If you are not a real head, like if you're not listening to almost every episode that drops in the Toronto Mike feed, if you're not at least interested passionately about attending a TMLX event, I think you should have attended one or maybe 21, like Langer's on the live stream. There's a guy. That guy is allowed
He's
to
a guy,
listen to
all right.
FOTMcast, okay? Everybody on the live stream, I'd say attending these live stream means you're allowed. Lieve Fumka is on the live stream, okay? She's taking over the swag, okay? We're talking on this live stream about merch, Toronto Mike shirts, something with the catchphrases we drop. Maybe it's available to Elma Combo on May 21. Get your tickets right now. But that conversation's happening here. I think I'm going to... Moose Grumpy, Lieve Fumka, Stephanie Wilkinson, they can take this on. Leslie's going to help me with the Patreon. It takes a village. All these good people. Greg Winson, Hey Ref, I mentioned Leslie and Rob Del Mundo. Okay, all these good people that
Carlos
are
Delgado.
online early. Carlos Delgado. Online early on a Friday, a holiday Friday, to check out FOTMcast. They can listen. But if you're a casual or you're like not really immersed in the TMU, you just cherry pick an episode here and there, stop listening.
Get out of here. Get out of
Delete
here.
this from
Yeah.
your iPhone.
Yeah. Throw
Get
your
it out
phone
of
into the
yours.
lake.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. What are you still listening for? Shut it down and go listen to Rogan or something. I don't
Get
know.
some help.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
Tyler, how's your quarter been? I'm going to make an observation, and then you're going to tell us how you're doing.
Okay.
I have noticed, like it's palpable.
Yes.
You have withdrawn, like you've been buried with some other priority, some other responsibility
Yes.
that has consumed you this past quarter. I'm surprised you're here because I think you've been very, very busy.
Yes, I have been busy. Thank you for noticing. I started a new job at the end of last year. And it has sort of taken over my life. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
Are you well compensated?
Sure. I feel.
Or is
I
this
feel good
something
about
where
it.
you're putting in the work? Because at the end of this rainbow, there's a pot
I'm being
of gold.
appropriately compensated for my time. But yeah, no, it's we've started a new advertising agency. And it's a lot
Mad
of fucking
Men over
work.
here.
Fucking Don Draper.
Yeah,
Jesus.
hello.
Basement.
I'm more of the Roger Sterling of the agency.
I can see that.
Yeah. So it's just taking up a lot of my time.
Your dad's named Roger, right?
He is named Roger. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how Tyler, I know this because I feel like we chatted
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
time, but how's sort of the ad industry out there these days? Like what are
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's really bad. A lot of the big sort of global conglomerates are shutting down and consolidating
I was to say
agencies.
was it WPP? Did the big
WPP,
big merger.
Omnicom has done similar things. Not to get too deep into the weeds, but
Sure.
it's like a lot of people have lost their jobs, and so I feel very fortunate that I'm in the position I'm in, and we have one client who is very busy and has a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
So. Can't complain about
These
that.
are people you've worked with before.
Yeah,
like
it's
a lot of them
yeah,
too, which is helpful.
Yeah,
So-
Is it an airline?
It is not an airline.
Is it tobacco?
It's a pharmaceutical company.
okay.
Yeah, pretty close.
Anyway, let's bring in Tony Chapman for
Yeah.
some brand chatter. That
Okay, so-
Anyway,
the
that's
recap,
what's
though-
taking up my time.
That's exciting for
Yeah.
you, Tyler, and that explains your you seem distant. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't.
felt-
It's not by choice. Like my heart is always in the TMU, and so yeah, it's not.
And you're
it's
here.
and I'm here.
Sounds like a good business. Like overall a good business.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I can't complain. I'm
Okay, so you're
yeah.
busy.
Yeah,
Cam published a damn book.
he did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so what the hell have I been doing with my life?
What about
okay.
your? I want to talk about. I think we're gonna get into this, but all these like no shows.
Well, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the theme
Maybe
of the
that does that
quarter.
come up
It
during
does come
the
up, but we can
Wrapped?
maybe touch on
Like
it.
save it
now.
for Wrapped,
We could,
maybe?
let's save it for Wrapped.
Okay.
but yeah.
Well, let's save that for Wrapped. I will tell you, I did
unpack
something that it ties in with Tyler. So something happened mere days ago. It ties
Oh,
in.
that's so funny.
I got to write that down for the Elmo. Okay, May 21st. I'm going to get the right date. May 21st. Don't you dare miss it. Okay, don't you dare miss it. Come there and see Langer. Okay, but I got to get the right dates. Holy smokes! March 31st, which was mere days ago.
Yes.
I had Ralph Ben-Murgy visiting at 11 a.m. maybe? 11 a.m. It doesn't matter. 11 a.m. Ralph Ben-Murgy was visiting from Hamilton, and I was all psyched up for it. I love chatting with Ralph. So that happened. I was all set. I promoted it. But at about 10 to 11 or something, I got a knock on the door, and I'm like, why is Ralph knocking on the front door? Ralph knows I want him to knock on the side door. And I go to the door to tell Ralph, go to the other door. It's not Ralph Ben-Murgy. It's David Eisenstadt.
Whoa.
And I said, oh, David. And then my brain really quickly remembers we did talk about a Passover special that would record the day before Passover. But this is going to sound terrible. Like, I wasn't conscious all the time of when Passover is. Like, it's not, I didn't, I'm sorry. I just, when's Passover, It turns out Passover started on April 1st. So,
That's right.
David was there for an 11 a.m. recording that never made my calendar. So it never made my calendar, and I forgot about it. But I definitely did tell him he could come over for a Passover special on the 31st of March. So I don't know where the wires got crossed. The last time this happened was you and I, right, VP? You booked a band
That's
while I
right.
was in the middle of a chat with somebody.
With Gilles LeBlanc, if I recall.
Gilles LeBlanc. Okay, so
Yeah.
that, I was fucked on that one. But this one, I'm like, okay, David, how busy are you? Apparently, he's as busy as Leslie Taylor. He had some time in his hands. So, I said, you sit in with Ralph and let Ralph and I do my thing for 90 minutes. And then I'll record right afterwards. I'll record
Smart.
your Toronto Mike
Smart.
debut. And I'll drop your debut on April 1st, which was the first day of Passover. So it all worked out, but it could have been a disaster.
Wow. Good thing you were home.
I know. Well, a lot of things. First of all, it's a good thing I was home, but I wasn't in the middle of a recording. Like, it all worked out the best it could have, considering. I have a question for Cam Gordon from a diehard listener who is worthy of listening to FOTMcast.
Oh, wow.
He goes by the handle Van Ram. He's the chap who
Van
sent me
Ram.
to Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
So you know he's worthy. Okay.
Yeah,
So and he
huge.
gave me some very expensive scissors.
Oh, I held
which we
those scissors.
used.
They
Those
were-
are
they're
unbelievable.
quite weighty.
Wow.
And he drove like 3 hours to come to a TMLX
for
event
him.
at
What-
Palma's
What
Kitchen.
can't this guy do?
You know,
He's got
honestly,
scissors. He's
I
got
think if I had to pick one
Springsteen
FOTM,
tickets.
this is the guy I pick.
Yeah.
This guy sounds
I think
cool.
so.
Yeah.
Hey, Van Ram, why don't you and the missus make that drive and come see me at the El Macombo on May 21st? Just throwing it out there. But Van Ram says, I have a question for Cam Gordon.
Wow.
A couple or so years ago, he said he'd never seen any Saturday Night Live. So even after all the Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
50 hoopla, is it true he still hasn't seen any of it?
I certainly haven't seen a since that. Like, I honestly don't think I've
That's
ever.
a mind blow, right, Tyler?
Yeah, like
He's a almost 50-year-old man.
yeah, like even accidentally.
He's
yeah, like
been alive.
I've certainly seen clips. I've seen, I've probably seen like the.
Okay, if I said this
the-
to you, if I said to you, I'm living in a van down by the
Yeah.
river, does that mean something
Yeah,
to you?
the Bassomatic.
Yeah.
I'm
Something-
You went way back to that one.
Some
I'm
things break-
Gumby, damn it,
Yeah.
Wayne's World, Wayne's
Okay.
World.
The
Like
things
If
that-
I said I was making copies.
yeah, and like even Weekend Reports.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Weekend
Dennis
Update.
That's
Miller.
definitely what it's called. Yeah.
Weekend Report.
Can you name how many weekend update hosts or
Well,
anchors or
there's
whatever you
Norm Macdonald.
There you
You
go.
got Dennis Miller.
name? Two?
You have who's that smarmy guy who was the talk show? not me. The other. smarmy
I'm
guy.
Chevy Chase and you're not.
He has a talk show on now. Who am I thinking of?
Jimmy Fallon?
I know Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers. Yeah.
Fallon never hosted Weekend Update.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, the law. If I saw Fallon was there, I checked out.
Oh,
So-
Yeah.
Jane, you ignorant beep.
Yeah,
You can say
that's
it.
all right.
Was it that was Dan Aykroyd?
He was.
She was from
yeah,
Kate. She was from Kate and
I'm
Alley.
Chevy Chase, and you're not. Like,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know sort of.
Certain
That's
things,
pretty good.
Certain
I've
things
just-
break containment, and Cam has.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I've never said I'm gonna watch SNL.
Like
Okay.
not even if a musician you really liked was the musical guest.
Well, I did
musical
record when the Tragically Hip was on.
Okay.
Oh, there's something
Yeah,
Okay.
but beyond that, I don't think so. No.
fascinating. So Van Ram, thank you for the question and for
Great
the
question.
Where
for the
He
follow up.
lives in Buffalo.
I don't think it's Buffalo. I think it's further than that.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I think it may be, but maybe it's Buffalo area. I don't know.
Okay.
But I do
Okay,
know.
good
I feel like
question.
we should get into Wrapped and do everything there. What do you think, Tyler?
Should we remind people what FOTMcast is,
Oh.
or do we?
No, do it.
Everyone knows.
Well,
So,
Apple
yeah.
forgets.
Apple.
He's
So
getting
this
older.
is specifically for Mike Apple. Hello, Mike. FOTMcast is a quarterly show where we recap the previous quarter. We talk about the highlights. We talk about the lowlights. We talk about everything in between. So it's numbers, it's facts, it's figures. All of your meta Toronto Mike needs are served here on FOTMcast. One thing that I did want to read, I get a lot of email to the FOTMcast@gmail.com inbox.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I did get one message that I wanted to read. This is from a listener. Keep the long FOTMcast episodes with a prayer hands emoji. Unless you old men can't talk for 3+ hours, I will allow pee breaks if you have prostate issues. From one FOTM Hall
Is
of
that from
Famer
Alan's wife?
to another,
Oh.
Leave Famke.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
she's delightful.
She is delightful.
She's
so
just kidding.
we have made a conscious decision to try to shorten the episode. We'll see how it goes.
So we're going to talk about fewer episodes. this
Fewer
quarter.
episodes, but there may be longer clips, so it may still balance out. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you for your submission, Leave Famke. And what's the address again where people can write?
FOTMcast@gmail.com.
Okay, people write there because it's going to have this fun segment.
I get a ton of messages. This
Spam.
one was really just the one that I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, you can't read them all.
I
We
can't
don't
read-
have that
we don't
kind
have-
of time.
we don't have that time.
My hard drive is not big enough.
Exactly.
Hey-o.
Hey now.
You
All
know,
right.
you know what anniversary came and went that we didn't talk about? The 1 year anniversary of us going to the second Jays game.
That's right.
this season.
That's
where
Well, we did kind of
Max-
talk about it. We literally played a clip
I-
of us talking.
But we didn't mark the anniversary though.
You know what reminded me of it when Cody Ponce sort of
right.
took a tumble and he got hurt because I think Scherzer pitched that game we saw and he got injured. Because I remember saying, "Oh, this might be his only start for the Blue Jays. This team, I don't know."
Yeah.
Remember how off those vibes were?
Oh, so bad.
terrible,
So bad.
Santander was just not feeling it.
Yeah.
It's just
No, that was awful. We
we
watched
called them
about,
fifth place in the AL East.
Yeah,
I
we
think
watched
was the
about
prediction.
40 seconds of that game.
It was so much fun.
It was a great
I
time.
had a great time
Yeah,
with you guys.
let's do that again.
Yeah.
We almost
Not
got
watch the game.
booted from the dome.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
Peeking in the hotel room before the game.
Rap, rap, rap,
wrap it up. I will take it wrapped. This is the longest segment of FOTMcast, so we'll see how we do here.
Producer note, so we never did test your volume.
We
right?
sure
didn't. You're plugged in now to the board. I forgot that you play your own clips.
We'll, as they say, fuck it, we'll do it live.
How many episodes are we going to talk about in this wrapped?
I was working on this late into the night last night. I have...
Yeah, you text us at 1 a.m.
I did, and I was not done yet.
Burning the midnight oil.
I was. I have 11 clips.
Our beds are burning.
I have 11 clips, and I have 12 episodes that I want to talk about. There's one episode that has no clip, but it's just an episode we're going to talk about.
We're going to discuss it.
Yeah.
These are good ones.
Yeah.
Maybe Elvis will listen to that segment.
I hope so. I hope he does.
Because he's really enjoyed that. I think he listened to that episode.
Did he?
I think he saw the buzz in the WhatsApp
He
group,
does bring
and
it up
he
a
listened
lot.
to it,
Yeah.
and he likes to reference
Yeah.
that. Like, so the funny thing about Elvis, if I will, before we dive into Wrapped,
Please.
is he listens to he brags about not listening to any episodes, but whenever he does listen to an episode, he fucking loves it so much. Like, imagine the joy in that man's life if he actually listened to episodes of Toronto Mike.
He's such a passionate man. He's probably like tearing up.
Because that episode we're going to talk about that you didn't pull a clip from, we kind of heard one already.
There was a small clip from it, yes.
By the way, he's so funny.
He loves it.
Yeah, I really he's
Elvis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Elvis.
Funny guy.
He's great.
Yeah.
Not the first word I think
An
of.
infectious laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's why he gets to co-host those Palma's Kitchen
That's right.
events. And there will be another one, everybody. So stay tuned to find out when that TMLX event will be. It'll be late November or early December. But the next TMLX event is going to be the last Thursday of June, and it's going to be at Great Lakes Brewery, which is not too far from Royal York and Queensway, down the street from the Costco.
Right around the corner.
What time is that, by the way?
6 to 9.
6 to 9. Okay, I had 5 to 9.
If 6 was 9.
Well, 5 is when we want you to arrive because I get there at 5 and I need people to hang with.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Great. Well, thank you. Let's wrap up this quarter as we do the 55th quarter of the Toronto Mic'd podcast. 45 episodes in this quarter, a very light quarter for Toronto Mic'd.
I felt it.
Yeah. 56 in Q4, so
It
way
felt light.
down. The lightest quarter since Q3 of 2024 when you had 44 episodes.
Can I address that?
I call that the kayak quarter. And so this felt very much like the kayak quarter. And so I think where you might be going, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of postponements, a lot of cancellations, a lot of delays, some weather issues. No doubt it was a very nasty winter. People being
tough
busy.
Weather to get people in the basement is a tough quarter.
For sure. So like Andy Stuchanski, which happened. Multiple postponements.
Right.
Bruce McCullough has not happened.
But there were 3 times he was in the calendar. So once you're in the calendar, that basically I don't like to record more than one Toronto Mic a day. So it's like that day is off the table.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Rob Salem and Rita Zekas.
Yeah, they canceled a couple of times, although they're coming soon, I think, in
Good.
April.
Dan O'Toole.
Yeah,
Straight up
he just
stood you up.
ghosted me, and then twice. One time he canceled, and one time he ghosted me.
Is he back in the?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
And then of course the David Bronstein incident.
Oh yeah.
Bagel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bagelgate.
Yeah.
So these are great points, Tyler. Astute as always, and
Thank
that
you.
was part of the headaches. There was a lot of postponements, a lot of cancellations, a lot of delays, a lot of trouble with the scheduling, and Mother Nature was a beast, and a lot of people just, it's snowing, it's ice, it's minus 30,
Understandable.
whatever, fine. But I want to apologize to the TMU, okay? And I feel I let people down this past quarter because in the other parts of TMDS, Toronto Mike Digital Services, which is how I'm trying to send all these kids to university and pay the mortgage and, feed everybody and everything. Much like you, Tyler, I was buried this past quarter.
Yeah.
There were so many projects that had nothing to do with Toronto Mic'd. And there was one particular project that had to do with a brand new, exciting women's professional baseball league, the WPBL, that I was immersed in since January. And I'm producing a podcast for them, a weekly podcast. And it's taken up a lot of time. There was a lot of, we would record episodes and critique them and figure out the tone and who's the host and should I be seen or just heard and all these different things figuring out. So a lot of that, but also I did this whole arborist thing and this precious metals thing, and I spoke to these accountants across. Like I did a lot of different things at TMDS, but they were time hogs.
Is this all word of mouth, like all these opportunities? Like generally?
Like the PW, I gotta get the right initials. The WPBL, because of my relationship with Toronto Maple Leafs baseball.
Right.
So that's how that comes in. The arborist gig, which was rad, we're gonna do more, and I was in London, Ontario for this
Brad,
thing.
It was Brad? Oh, sorry.
Was rad. It was through the Professor Pricklethorn.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
it was word of mouth through that one.
Yeah.
Precious metals, I'm still not sure how I got it. I don't know, because I was hired to host this thing and produce this thing, and it was great.
Hey,
gig.
we all need aluminum.
No idea. Honestly, I learned a lot in these conversations because it was way out of my comfort zone. But I still don't know how that happened. And there was a gentleman who hired me for the talk to all the accountants across the country. Like, that was pretty cool. I'm doing this keynote thing to start off their conference. That was because this gentleman remembered me from a General Motors road trip, like, I don't know, 15 years ago.
Wow.
And then because of that, he's been following me, and he has been witnessing the rise, like a phoenix, the rise of Toronto Mike winning a podcast award in 2025.
Again, this all sounds like good busy.
But all this, it's all been busy.
We're all
but
making money here.
There's, the first thing to go is like, oh, maybe I can't record 4 episodes this week.
Right.
Like, and there were some weeks I recorded 2 episodes, and I felt like, am I even doing this anymore? Like 2 episodes a week? Like, I felt bad, and I felt like a failure. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could just do this, but that's not how
Well, you should, and you are. Just kidding. No, I don't take it personally. These people like canceled on you. I do find, because yes, it was very cold and icy this winter, but you've had other like successful Q1s too. I do feel like,
but there's something's happened. I think something happened since COVID where people are reticent. Is that the word I'm looking for? To go to do it in person. Like Tara Sloan, I think that'll come up in a minute. But Tara Sloan was always an in-person guest this past quarter, and we had talked about it. We talked about it so many times. And then suddenly, I can't get there, but I can Zoom with you. And then you have that moment of like, this lovely woman who I like very much, do I tell her, go take a hike, Tara? Or do I let her Zoom in, and then next time she can come into the basement? So there's been a lot of that. And I feel like the world wants to do the remotes, but I had this chat with Jeff Vidler last week. If you listen to that episode, Jeff Vidler, we were talking, and he's kind of reassured me that maybe I should stick to my vision. Shout out to Maestro Fresh West.
I do feel like perhaps also a factor, there's just a lot of heaviness in the world right now between, layoffs and wars and politics and stuff.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people just get to a point where like, I can't even, and like a lot of extracurricular stuff, secondary stuff falls by the wayside. Not suggesting doing a podcast is either of those, but I feel like just like almost subconsciously, and then it's winter and people are just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I considered zooming in today.
Cam should have zoomed in. Saved him a 90-minute track.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I like coming here.
Okay. Well, I'm still trying to make everybody come here, even if it means less episodes. So my apologies for the lighter load, but then again, maybe my load was just too high previously. Like
well, we've always said that you go above and beyond, and maybe you record more than you should. So, and 45 episodes is still a lot of episodes.
I suppose that's like 15 a month.
Yeah.
You know what? When you say it that way, not so bad. Okay, let's get into these quarterly episode rundowns.
Yeah, just a couple more facts that I need to burn. There were 44 individual guests, down from 61 in Q4. So that's a pretty big jump, because you actually had quite a few guestless episodes this quarter as well.
Can you remind me? Because some of them, if they don't have a number, I don't count them. Like, I know you might count them, but like, so for example, my daughter turned 10.
Sure.
And I dropped a 10-minute episode with her.
Yeah.
But I didn't number it.
Right.
So I didn't think that I didn't count it myself. Right. And there was another one. Maybe it was like a St. Patrick's Day thing. Oh yeah, my Lucky Charms thing. I did a little St. Patrick's Day, but that was not. I didn't number that one either.
Right.
I just dropped it in the feed.
So okay. So then but.
So I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Did I actually have any real numbered episodes this past quarter that had no guests?
Maybe you didn't in that case. And if that is the case,
I was trying to head you off at the pass because I'm
10
10 minutes with Morgan. you're going to give that a number?
Sure.
Like, I guess I could have given it a number, but I
Yeah.
decided to just make it like a bonus thing.
Yeah, and I did not count those episodes in the episode
Okay.
count. So just to be clear about
But
that.
Morgan is an FOTM now. I want that made clear.
Yes.
I would hope so.
And then there were 23 first-time guests down from
not bad.
32 in the last quarter.
Respectable.
Yeah, and then a couple of milestones. So Rob Pruce became a member of the 40-timer club.
Wow. Well, congrats to my Elma Combo.
Yeah, and he actually made
Paul Schaefer.
He actually
Speaking
made
of nice guys.
Oh, the nicest. He actually made 4 appearances this past quarter.
Because Nash the Slash
Because of and then
and
3
the
toasts.
toast. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Ralph, not that kind of rabbi,
Ralph Ben-Mergy.
became a member of the 10-timer club.
Okay, good for him.
Double digits.
I make
Yeah.
him drive from Hamilton. That's the asshole I am.
Anyway, that's it. Those are the numbers, the stats, the facts, the figures from Q1 of this year.
And Cam is the most, because somebody asked me this, and
Yes.
I said it was Cam, but Cam is the most frequent guest.
Cam has made
Still.
113 appearances,
Because
not
he made
including
one,
today.
he came on to talk about
He did.
this new book of his, which I highly recommend.
Like I said, the first genuine appearance where like I was actually coming on for a reason.
That's true. Yeah,
Like,
well,
really.
the first time was just hate. Let's
The
Curiosity. Oh, this guy's at
Well,
the
that's in my 5-minute
Twitter
speech.
company.
I actually might drop the 5-minute speech at the Track Changes event as a bonus episode in the
Yeah.
feed. I might do that.
I actually one of the other piece of coverage for the book coming out. I do actually have another anecdote about you and the LG Shine phone and whatnot.
We should write a book about that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be more in a marketing trade publication, but
Okay.
more on that later.
Completely
Okay.
ignored.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I think we are ready to talk about some of these
Even though I
episodes.
feel shame at those low
Don't feel
numbers you
shame.
just
Don't
dropped.
feel shame.
I'm like Bo Bichette over here.
All right. So let's go through
Okay.
it. We're not going to talk about every episode. We're
No.
just going to talk about some of the highlights that
Okay.
we've identified.
Okay.
Early in the and these are pretty much in chronological order
Okay.
as well. So early in the quarter, think back, if you will, to early January. We're all just recovering from Christmas. We've all got the FOTMcast hangover, and we're getting into some new guests. And Rob Bowman, the wonderful and learned Rob Bowman, came to join you. His second appearance. He did not bring his co-author Daniel Tate with him. This was Rob solo.
Later asked me what I was doing last night, speaking of Daniel Tate.
Oh yes, we'll get into that. So Rob, fascinating guy, music historian, wrote the book on Stax Records, from which a wonderful HBO documentary was made.
Highly recommended.
One of the conversations you had was about Steve Cropper, who had passed away not long before that chat. Steve Cropper, one of the great musicians in Stax, a member of Booker T and the MGs, across everything, Blues Brothers, on a million recordings, Otis Redding.
Produced Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Produced Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Also, yeah.
Parentheses,
Also that
Jen.
one.
That too.
So let's
They're
hear.
both good gems.
Yeah, let's hear Rob talk about Steve Cropper, and let's check the volume as we do that.
Okay. I wondered if you'd say a word about Steve Cropper before we remind people how they can read more about Stax, see more about Stax, and I got another big topic for you.
The contribution of Steve Cropper as a guitarist, songwriter, artist, as a member of Booker T and the MGs, and a producer is unfathomable. It's one of the most important musicians in soul music history. That's real simple. When Mojo names him the second guitarist of all time, whatever year that stupid poll was, those polls are dumb.
Yeah.
First of all, second best? Why not third? Why not first? But the idea, and what do you mean by best guitarist? I mean, I don't know who was number one that year, but, Steve can't play lead like Jeff Beck. He can't play like Jimi Hendrix, and nor did he ever really want to. Steve was primarily an extraordinary rhythm player who understood how to make a dance track with funk. He did play some leads, you hear that Play It Steve and Soul Man,
Right.
but those aren't long solos like a Beck or a Page or a Clapton or a Hendrix would play. He wasn't technically advanced the way Eddie Van Halen was, but that wasn't what he was trying to do. So again, who's better and who is ridiculous? He's probably one of the best rhythm guitarists ever, and one of the most important guitarists to black popular music in American history. That's as simple as that.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know,
Not wrong.
listening to him, Rob Bowman, he's fantastic. But like, I'm like, oh yeah, like he did take the time in January. He sat here in the basement, and then we had a conversation like that. That reminds me why I do this show. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just amazing to me that a guy like that who has that kind of knowledge and history of music walks amongst us. You know,
Yeah.
You bump into him at like events in
he
the
was at,
city.
he was
He's
at
around.
the Red Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, like, listening to that too, I do worry that are we going to have these sorts of relationship as musicians going forward? Like when you think of someone like Steve Cropper, all the things he got involved, like it's honestly, it's to quote Stu Stone, remarkable. The range of stuff, like even a lot of the Booker T and the MG solo stuff is like incredible. It's all like instrumental. I don't know. It's again, it's probably just an age thing, but I worry that we're going to sort of lose a lot of that, just sort of the reverence for like.
But you're
musicians.
doing it. I'm doing it. You know, Ed Conroy's doing it.
Yeah, but like we're all on, like this is all kind of respectfully fringy stuff too. And I don't know, like it's one thing, like I was thinking like at the book event, like, you know, my daughter's there and my nephew who are like teenagers, like I was just thinking, why would they care about any of this? You know, it would be like us hearing about like the 1950s when we were kids. It's like, it seems
But
like
why
ancient
do we
history.
care about Steve Cropper and Otis Redding and Stax Records?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's
You know what
before
I mean?
our time. But,
And I teased the other topic I was going to bring up. His other is Muscle Shoals.
oh my God.
Like you
yes.
can have Rob Bowman go buy him a beer and he'll do hours telling you about Muscle Shoals and Stax Records, and like that's way before my time, and I
Totally.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. The song "Melting Pot" by Booker T and the
Oh,
MGs,
yeah.
that-
So it's not.
that's
I don't think it's a
great
generational
song.
thing, and it's not an age thing.
It's a
literally
curiosity
a
thing.
curiosity
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's not for everyone, but
Yeah.
20-year-olds
There's
who are
enough of
really
us
curious,
around,
and
yeah.
20-year-olds who just don't care.
okay,
Yeah.
fair
As,
enough. Fair enough.
You know,
Come on, how dare you?
I guess our kids today as curious as maybe previous generations were, and they probably are just about
Some are.
different things.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
are. Like I know,
Yeah.
I know my oldest
Oh,
is
yeah.
always
I
telling
know
me about.
lots of curious
He'll tell
kids.
me about. He'll listen to Paul McCartney's Ram, and then he'll break it down for me.
Right.
We're gonna walk after
Nice.
this, and it's like I haven't listened to Ram in its entirety.
Yeah.
Although I want to shout out Jim Shedden, a good FOTM, who gave me a personalized tour of the Paul McCartney photography exhibit
yeah.
at the art gallery, and it was tremendous. And I did watch Man on the Run, which was interesting to see some of the Paul McCartney world post Beatles.
Yeah. They did a really nice job. You saw the photo of Paul McCartney reading the Toronto Star.
Of course I
you
did.
see
Yeah,
that?
he's on. I think he's
It's very
on a
cool.
train going to Montreal or something.
Love
like that.
it. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay, and I love that clip from Rob Bowman. He was tremendous in quarter one. I'm glad you recognized him.
You mentioned Ed Conroy in there, and I think we've all probably seen the trailer for the new CN Tower documentary.
You know, I haven't.
Oh, you should
Have you,
check
Kim?
that out.
I'm loosely aware of it.
Okay, well,
Loosely
Ed's
aware.
in that. He's a sort of a talking head in there.
I have to dig. Why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you WhatsApp me a link to this thing?
That you would have. You're in the zeitgeist.
Can you
and would've-
text us when this happens?
I'm
You
waiting.
let us know what you had for breakfast. You could send us the fucking CN Tower doc.
Anyway, we'll discuss offline.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I know.
I hope there's some footage from Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh,
a lot of good CN Tower content
Construction
there.
document. No. Okay.
Not that one.
Okay, so I look forward to
Not
the
that kind of documentary.
the CN Tower doc.
Okay, moving on. Reshmi and Supriya.
Oh, good.
This was a hot episode. Lots of
Got to do that again.
too hot for radio discussion. Lots of chatter about the whole Mike Stafford thing, which I want to ask you about sort of at the end of this.
Yeah.
This was sort of earlier in the conversation talking about AM talk radio and whether it's safe for people like Reshmi and Supriya, women of color, who were on talk radio and endured quite a bit of abuse from listeners and others. So let's hear some of that chat.
Is AM talk radio in this country a safe space for women of color?
Is that a joke? So I mean, no.
What's a safe space, though?
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I'm not asking for a safe space. You want to come at me? Come at me. Like, you want to argue about stuff. You want to like talk about like big issues of the day. You want to talk politics. You want to talk partisan politics. Sure, I'd love to do that. Like, I'm not scared of any of that stuff. But like, you're gonna come at me and tell me that like, you know, we're under Sharia law, or that all of a sudden you're not going to be allowed to do X, Y, or Z because of a non-existent law that doesn't exist. There you go. X, Y, Z. Thank you.
This is not a safe space.
Yeah, exactly. But I just like I think, you know, are we actively putting brown women, women of color, black women that are, you know, in and around talk radio, are we putting them into a line of fire? I think it's less of a safe space and more in that we're actually actively putting them into an adversarial space in which we know they're not going to come out without a few clocks to the face after the fact, proverbial or real.
Yeah. I mean, safe space, I think, is an unsafe space is where someone doesn't feel like they can be themselves. And I think most people would say in a workplace, you have to have a certain level of professionalism. So no, you can't be your complete self. But when someone brings their professional version to work and they're othered or they're treated differently, then I would describe that as not a safe space to work. I mean, like, there were perks to my job, like mileage, and I never knew it because no one told me. And it's one of those things where I'm like,
would they tell Jerry
else,
Agar about mileage?
I don't know if they got him to never go on site anymore, but yeah, sure. So there's this white woman who's the manager who just never told me that there's mileage, and I'm going out and I'm
claim this mileage.
Yeah, and I'm doing all of these events, and I mean,
it's kilometerage, by the way.
And it sounds petty, but it's one example that I'm coming up with where I'm like, well, why didn't anyone tell me this? But also, was I the one who was supposed to ask? And that moment, in those moments where you find out that there are these things going on and you don't know about them, and were you supposed to know? And of course you are. Every employee should know these things, but they weren't told to me. Then you wonder, is it because there's something different about me? So I can't say that she was being racist and not telling me. She could not be racist at all. She could just not like Rashmi Nair, and then she just doesn't want to tell me. But either way, there's something about me that I'm not being given the same information as everyone else. That I think I would describe as like somewhat of an unsafe space. So is radio safe for brown girls? Is radio, like Supriya said, I don't think it has to be a place where everyone is accepted, because you want to debate and you want to take on different positions, but the respect has to be there. And it is not. I would love for 1010 to respect a trans person for 5 minutes and let them speak. I would love that. They'll never do it. That's why I would say that's not a safe space.
There's a lot of meat on that bone.
That's the real talk right there.
You know, hook that to my veins. I could just do that. Like that. I loved that episode with Supriya and Rashmi.
Honestly, just an incredible snapshot, just like the realities of what, you know, trying to work in the media in 2026. Like, I don't know.
Especially AM talk radio.
And it just seemed like they're swimming upstream, because like not only are they getting the abuse from listeners, they're also getting bombarded with disinformation from other hosts on the show or on the station.
Yeah.
And then they're being put in the position to respond to those.
Oh yeah, Supriya particularly. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just it seems like.
Well, we can say it. Alex Pearson would have like a late night show, and there would be topics that would then spill into the morning show, and these topics may not be, truths.
Yeah.
I will say also, there's all that, and then there's just what's happening again to our media ecosystem, where like Chorus owns a lot of the legacy like talk radio stations across Canada, with a lot of shared programming via Ben Mulrooney and I think David Cooper. Is he Chorus or is he? I think he's Bell.
He's now I believe he was Bell, and I believe he's now Chorus.
Yeah, so that's on the radio
he's
side.
He's an FOTM too.
Yeah, and then like Post Media owns Ottawa Citizen, Vancouver Sun, Edmonton Journal, National Post Office. Like, all this stuff's just gonna like fade away into like nothing. Really, it just seems like it's happening like bit by bit. Like even this week, some other Chorus folks got the tots. I don't know.
Tap on the shoulder. Although this listenership knows what that means.
Yeah, kind of the slow/fast drain.
Okay, which only makes me feel like we need the CBC more than ever. Hearing you say these words.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
I did want to ask. So then the conversation sort of turned to the whole Mike Stafford situation, which
Right.
has been covered extensively. If there's a word,
No one covers it
beyond
more than I do.
extensively, they would apply here. It was a really interesting chat because it was almost as if you and Supriya were on one side of the table. And
I
Rashmi
sense
was on
that
the
too.
other.
I sense that too.
How did you feel that conversation went?
I shouldn't. I'm careful with this because I am the white guy in the room there, and but I do understand where Stafford was coming from with all that, and I have a certain level of like sympathy for Mike Stafford and how he was treated because of that offense. And Rashmi does not have any. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I felt with Rashmi, it was a black and white thing. Like, you typed in those 4 letters, the P slur. Once you type that into an internal Teams chat, just she's done with you. Like, there is no redemption. There is no conversation to be
They
had.
have the receipts.
It's a third rail.
too.
Yeah, and fair enough.
But I am more nuanced than that, where because of the context of it, I am willing to have a conversation with Mike Stafford about his intent, why he typed in those 4 letters. I know he erroneously felt it was a safe space because he trusted his audience as like buds, and we say things sometimes with our buds we might not say on the radio, for example. Not that Mike said any of this on the radio. This was all an internal Teams chat. But I just was a little surprised at how judgmental Rashmi was, because it was like, okay, you wrote those 4 letters. You're essentially, whatever happens, you go fuck yourself, go live under a bridge. You deserve everything that comes to you. You typed in those 4 letters in that internal Teams chat. And I personally am a more, I'm far less judgmental, but again, I'm a white guy, and it may not matter my feelings on racism here.
Yeah. I think it's also just interpretation, like what type of offense based on workplace conduct rules and whatnot is grounds for
And why?
suspension
Like, why?
or dismissal. Yeah, it's all judgment.
Like, to me, it's different. If
End
he's
of the day.
calling a woman of color the P slur, now it's a different context. Now you need to go talk to somebody. You need to talk to a therapist. Why are you? Why do you have this
Wendy
inherent?
Mesley?
Why do you have this inherent racism? Well, Wendy's another one. The context is okay of that one too. But it is I get the way Mike Stafford writes a joke and crafts a joke, and he assumes the persona of this buffoon named Doug Ford. And in the height of COVID, this is what Doug Ford is going to go out and call a variant, because Doug Ford is the ignorant who uses the P slur. And Mike Stafford, maybe things are different. I asked this question, I can't remember the answer, but if it was P asterisk KI, is it the same ramifications?
You just have to know better, right? Like, you just
you can't go there. But I can see him in that environment, trusting these friends and thinking they'll get the same joke, because the joke is on Doug Ford, but not a joke I would make. But I don't know if he's dead to me because of his actions there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's not dead to me, or I wouldn't have invited him over several times to talk about it. So.
You should make like a list.
But I found Rashmi very much, it was like a third rail. Like, there was no sympathy, no compassion at all for Mike Stafford. And that is her right, but I was surprised by it.
Yeah. And I think that's fair in some ways.
Yeah,
honestly,
But she kept saying he did, this white man did that and didn't suffer consequences. And the thing what really was shocking to Supriya and I was, didn't suffer consequences.
Lost his job.
They fired him with no severance.
Yeah.
What should he have gone to jail? Like, what, that to me, he suffered and he hasn't worked since, and he's like, he's in a precarious situation.
Lots of consequences.
To me, tremendous consequences.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much more consequences you want this man to face for that action.
Yeah. You lost your job.
Yeah. Like, that is it. You're fired. And the no severance. So they're saying you're fired. It's cause. That is the absolute supreme consequence.
Yeah. Well, also, whether it's Mike Stafford or John Derringer or Travis Danraj, like, all very different situations, but all of them, it's hard to imagine any of them ever sort of working in like mainstream media again, because all these things were also like widely covered to varying degrees.
Oh yeah, you're right. We could do a whole episode about Travis.
I'm going to do some vaping.
When is our 90-minute?
Just remind me.
When is our 90-minute deep dive into the Travis Danraj situation?
Anyway, we are probably the the three least qualified people to put ourselves in the shoes.
But that's why I wanted Reshmi and Supriya
Yeah, of
basically
course.
for that. Because so I do seek out
scripts don't exist.
Well, I do seek out. I do talk to people, and I'm interested in your perspective. And I know I'm well aware I'm a white guy.
Yeah,
like that's the first thought on all this.
Yep.
This conversation.
Yeah, I'd say that episode divergent opinions on topics, but all of them extremely valid too. Yeah, it was great. Again,
yeah, and I want to pair them up again at some point, but I also want to pair not Reshmi. Actually, that's a bad idea. I almost said Reshmi and Stafford, but I don't think that's going to fly. But I do want to bring Supriya and Mike back because their episode, which was the previous quarter, was also stellar. So maybe the common denominator here is Supriya Dwivedi gives good podcast.
She does.
Write that down.
She's excellent.
There you go.
Real talk.
All right. Let's move on to something like the real issues here, which is tears are not enough. I think,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but by the way, do you guys know there's a podcast called Big in Canada?
I played a clip from it on this program because they were Googling Snow, I think. Snow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they found on YouTube me talking to Snow about how he's related to Stephen Page. And on that podcast, they brought this up and they credited, and I played the clip because they actually said something like, oh, some guy named Toronto Mike. Like, I was surprised because most of the time they just steal that and they don't actually. But they said Toronto Mike, and I was appreciative of that.
Yeah, good for them.
Anyway, on March 10th, they actually did a full podcast.
Oh, I
about
listened.
Tears Are Not Enough.
I listened.
I
guess it was
this.
sort of different. It was so ranked. It seems like
I found it a little infuriating, but I think a big part of it is, they got a lot of stuff wrong.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was got a lot wrong, and
They're probably on the Wikipedia page.
Well, let's play this clip. Maybe that speaks to it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's just play it, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Were you at Manta Sound Studios in Toronto on February 10th, 1985?
I was not.
Mind blow. That's a mind blow. We have to make an edit to the Tears Are Not Enough Wikipedia page.
Oh.
Because
I was not aware that it actually stated that I was there.
It's got you listed as a member of the chorus, but
it is news to me.
Well, now I need to. Why were you omitted? You should have been there.
I'm trying to think.
Is it because you mentioned Bryan Adams? The brain trust of this Tears Are Not Enough is the Vancouver contingent. Bruce Allen, Jim Valance is co-writing this thing with we mentioned Bryan Adams. So, and then David Foster's producing it. There's a Vancouver heartbeat to Tears Are Not Enough. Were you to Toronto?
Maybe. I have no idea. All I know is I never got a call.
You want to know who else didn't get a call? Because I had him on the show, and he didn't get a call, and he says it's because Bruce Allen was pissed at him. You want to know who didn't get a call?
Yeah, I do.
Randy Bachman.
Really? Well, that surprises me.
Please don't tell me.
Yeah, well, you're in good company, I'm telling you.
Well, now I don't feel so bad.
Now I feel bad that I was going to ask you all these questions about a recording you weren't invited to.
Yeah, there you go. A party I wasn't invited to. I don't know what to tell you.
No, you weren't invited.
I can guess what it was like.
Okay, guess.
I was not there. So,
well, Mark, I can tell you, Mark Holmes from Platinum Blonde. Remember, this is for famine relief in Ethiopia, right? So he took a limousine to the recording.
Of course he did. We opened for them a couple of times. One at Maple Leaf Gardens, and that was an experience. A million screaming girls. Yeah. And they weren't screaming at the Arrows. They were screaming at Platinum Blonde.
Sounds like situation was critical.
Oh, my God. I had to leave that in because it's so bad.
You know what? I can't believe I said that, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I said that. But also, I was cringing in the Supriya Reshmi clip that I corrected the Z, and I corrected. I just made after that. I tagged on that with the kilometerage.
Yeah.
But hearing it back, I was like, oh, that could have been terrible, but it actually was okay because the ladies played with it. But that situation critical,
god awful.
Yeah, I regret the. But you know what? I regret it, but I don't know how to not do it.
Yeah, that's.
But it's also not wrong.
Yeah,
like it was screaming,
sure,
fervor.
They fit 1 million into that Maple Leaf Gardens. Yeah. And you're going to speak to this, of course, but that was a moment because he's on Wiki. You find out he was there, and I had a bunch of questions about Tears Are Not Enough. I'm a scholar of Tears Are Not Enough as is Cam Gordon.
Ownership over it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you find out he wasn't invited, but Wiki says he was, and that's why we talk to these people to get the facts.
And just to be clear, that was Dean McTaggart from The Arrows. We didn't set that up at the beginning. I didn't set that up, so just
I would like to know what's the origin of Dean McTaggart, like, because I
listen
didn't
to the fucking episode. I did a deep dive with him. Everything's in there.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? You're wondering now about the Dean McTaggart. Oh, you're wondering why he's on the list for being there?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna go off on
I'm
you.
actually just looking here.
did you make the change?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the
'Cause
edit
it wasn't
summary.
credited to Rosie Gray Teo.
Yeah, who is this person? Like,
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Dean McTaggart is not a course member, and a link to a YouTube video.
We're in the edits page. of
That
Tears Are
I
Not
could have
Enough.
honestly just been like logged out, and that's like
Ah.
my IP number. I can't imagine anyone.
What's the IP?
Not for you here. Frank Mills or something.
That by the way, that was a big mind blow from this past quarter. Is that Cam Gordon revealed that he is in fact.
It's like Deep Throat
Rosie
coming
Gray
out
Teo.
years later.
Yeah,
That was a big deal.
that was big.
Okay, interesting.
Anyway, I thought that was a fun.
That's okay. No, I'm glad you did that because that's kind of the crux of what we do.
we are the curators in particular, and Cam of Tears Are
But
Not
did
Enough.
either of you
lore.
see the Big in Canada Tears Are Not Enough episode?
I
Did
have
I not
not.
see? Listen, I'm
I
sorry.
have not heard it yet.
I do want to give it a listen.
Yeah, I'm
wanna
going to
see.
listen.
Well, you should listen because it is interesting to me from the fact that this is a generation younger than us. So we Gen Xers did our Tears Are Not Enough thing, but this is like these people. I get the sense they're like maybe 40. Like they're at least a decade younger, and you can tell by the way they talk about things and the names they don't know and stuff. Like, oh yeah, that's a big difference. 10 years younger,
They don't know
and they
Carol
might be
Baker.
more than 10 years. 'Cause I'm not sure. There's a woman co-host, and I can't remember. She might be younger than 40. But the point is, it's very interesting to get that perspective from the generation that came after us.
sure.
Yeah, I do know because they I know they follow track changes. So I see their stuff show up.
Well,
and
he's a CBC guy. Like I know.
Oh, is
so
he
yeah,
really?
he
Okay.
works at CBC.
Yeah.
And I think, if I remember correctly, he pitched this idea to CBC podcast, and they said no.
Yeah.
So he basically said, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself."
Yeah. No, they do nice. Like I see their clips, like they're good. But you're right.
No, but they'll do episodes.
Like
We're gonna do a Gowan episode. We're gonna do we'll do a Snow episode. And sometimes it's tough from my perspective to listen because they'll get things wrong that like I guess that's part of the deal. But sometimes it's infuriating to listen to. But I'm glad they're doing it because they're independent and they're focused on Canada. I'm all about the CanCon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like we ever
I
make
beg
mistakes.
your pardon. Oh, that's that's ConCan.
ConCan.
It's CanCon.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very harsh. Also someone that had to be edited out of
That's right.
Wikipedia.
Right.
But he
Of
was
course he wasn't there.
Yeah, he was in the chorus of the O Canada documentary.
All-star.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my God. Talk about cringe.
Yeah.
We'll
Maestro
do an
Wes.
episode on that. All right.
All right.
That's right.
Okay. Tara Sloan,
Yeah.
the lovely and talented Tara Sloan.
I like her very much.
Was on the show. I was going to say she was here, but she was not here. She
No.
was remote because you were kind enough to give her the option, and she chose to stay home, as is her right.
I guess.
It's a classic Toronto Mike thing where you get an idea in your head and you won't let it go. And so
I know where we're going here.
So this is a conversation that you and Tara had.
I have thoughts on
about
this
a theory that you have. So let's listen.
I know I went on a little tangent here, but I love talking about Sloan. So all four members have been in the basement. I've had like deep dives with each of them. And, I'll often ask them about this name Sloan. Okay. And they kind of always have this look on their face like, oh, there's this, like, they have to print the legend. Like, I always sense this. This is all speculation on my part. But they tell it, some buddy of theirs they called Slow One. And
right.
then,
That was the story I heard.
and I'm here to tell you, I don't believe that story. I'm here to tell you, and then you could react to this, but I'm going to say definitively on the record, this episode of Toronto Mike, I'm saying it out loud. I believe the band name Sloan was a reference to Tara Sloan from Sam the Record Man in Halifax. They just changed the spelling.
That's ridiculous. No.
Tell me why
Not
it's ridiculous.
Why? Because they didn't know who, like, I feel like I don't know if the band existed before I knew Jay, but I cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine that I played enough of a role in their existence to that they took the name. I mean, who knows? Maybe they just heard it and they like it. But yes, I always heard Slow One.
Yes, but I believe that is printing the legend. The way we say, the way we talk about Neil Peart saying the word subdivisions in the Rush
For
song.
example.
Like,
right.
we print
Just
the
a random
legend.
example.
We all know that's a
Sure.
sample of Mark Daly on City News, but that's a
No, we don't.
Chum City property. It's cleaner to just say it was the drummer. But I feel like it's easier and cleaner to say this is
we
because
have
of
an
a
update on
buddy
that
they
too.
called Slow One, instead of saying, oh, well, there was this this cute young woman who worked at Sam the Record Man who had the last name Sloan, and we liked how it sounded, so we changed the spelling.
Have you ever asked them that?
So let me tell you a little. So I have. They had a new album out. I'm looking at it right now, actually, based on the bestseller. There's vinyl in my studio that you could see if you were here, Tara. So next time you can see it. But I had Jay and Chris over to talk about that album. And then I met you at a JD Tragically Hip event. Do you remember this?
Yes, of course.
I know. I guess I just telling the
Wasn't that long
listenership.
ago.
So it wasn't that long ago. Do you have a good memory, Tara Sloan? Okay, so
No, I mean, I am a 52-year-old woman, but that I remember. Big stuff I remember.
You're the
I just
second
don't know where to put my
52-year-old
milk.
woman I've had on Toronto Mike in a row, because I always say, because I'm born in 74. I know you're 73, but I just had a woman named Michelle Crystal on who was also born in 73.
And did she talk about also like forgetting things like, putting milk in the cupboard instead of the fridge?
No, but you ready for this? She met, so the reason I had her on is she's the widow of a broadcaster who's no longer with us, sadly, but his name was Andrew Crystal. And she met and fell in love with Andrew Crystal in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Always comes down to Halifax, doesn't it?
It's a mind blow. Okay, so is it plausible? Because I will at some point ask this question of Jay Ferguson, who I don't believe Jay can tell a lie. So
I dare you. I mean, he will laugh. He will laugh and say no.
But will you at
anyway.
least say it's plausible? It's possible.
Listen, I don't know the Sloan name timeline, but sure. It's plausible.
There it is on
But
record.
I also hear myself going down a road that I actually forgot to get back on, which real quick here is that the reason I brought up the Tragically Hip event was because I had a chat with Tara at this JD event, and that's when we talked about Sam the Record Man, and that's when the light bulb went off in my head, and that was after Jay and Chris had visited, so I didn't tie up that loose end. But I actually think I might be right. I know Cam is shaking his head over there. What are your thoughts, Cam?
My first thought, that poor woman.
And it goes up. There's more.
I know. I listened.
It was only 25 minutes.
I got a bit of Gino Vanelli. We get off black cars already, and
you don't think that's a
I am
significant detail?
I am so upset for someone who rages every time people say Bare Naked Lady's first TV appearance was on Speaking of you're
it was a documentary. It wasn't set in a subway.
Like you've got like those like hammer fists. You're like losing your mind. This like pardon my language is bullshit that you're trying to like spew here. You have no basis for this.
You don't know what you're talking about, okay?
Why do you know? Where did this theory?
Jay Ferguson and Tara Sloan worked together at Sam the Record Man in Nova Scotia,
So
Halifax, before the band Sloan was named.
What's your point?
The point is, Jay Ferguson is working with a Sloan, and then they named their band Sloan. I think you're the slow one here. Connect the fucking dots.
I think that this theory belongs in a Sloan urinal because it's and it's pissing me off. Pun very much intended.
I'm shocked, Tyler. I'm shocked at his dismissal. That this is absolutely. It's not ludicrous.
I don't understand.
And why do I
leave him out of this?
These dots connect, Cam Gordon. They connect. It may not be true, but it is absolutely possible.
I think it is a.
You go with that.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing else to say on this. I think
wait till I get.
I think it's
Jay
ridiculous.
Ferguson to confirm or deny.
Don't waste his time.
I'm shocked you don't think it's worthy of a conversation.
I mean, yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
Tyler, you need to be the reasonable
tiebreaker.
person.
Yeah,
you're the mature
Let's
one.
start out to the comment. The people in the
in the
chat room.
I personally think it's an interesting coincidence at best.
Okay, you're with Cam.
Well, it's just like
that's a nicer way to say
we've
what
all
Cam
worked with
said.
lots of people.
Yeah.
But
with all
Sloan
sorts
is
of
a
lots of things.
distinct word name. How many Sloans do you know?
There's the urinal. There's Slow One. There's P.F. Sloan.
Sloan from Ferris Bueller.
That's right. That's right. Ferris B. That might be that one. But it's just interesting that
Jerry
Jay-
Sloan.
How many people are working at? That's right. That's right.
There was
That's
Utah
right.
Jazz.
Utah Jazz. Of course. Of
Long
course. Of
time.
course.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting when I find out that Tara Sloan worked with Jay Ferguson
Sure.
at the Sam the Record Man before they named the band Sloan, and it's different spelling, but it's the same word. I find that interesting. I'm
Can
sorry.
we fucking get Jane Sibley on the line?
You know,
Just to, like,
can we get off Sloan already? Which is fine, but I will talk to Jay and Chris at
Here,
some point.
she's right behind here, Jane Sibley.
At some point, I'll find them in the streets of Toronto and I'll ask that one question.
Yeah.
I'll report
Anyway.
back. But an interesting revelation from Blair Packham in his most recent Rewinder was he's been talking to David Quinton Steinberg from the Mods, who is the lawyer for Rush. And David Quinton Steinberg said to Blair, from his process of elimination, he says he's narrowed it down to two possibilities. Who said the word subdivisions in that song by Rush, Subdivisions? It is either Neil Peart or Mark Daly.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, we're in the finals.
Weren't
Okay.
they always the two options?
Well, the lip syncing in the video was actually Alex Lifeson.
But I don't think
Why don't this could be like a project for you? The definitive public vote. Let the people decide.
Democracy, look at where that's got
Do you want
us.
to own this? Yeah, I know.
Think of the average voter. Half of them are dumber than that.
Yeah.
All right. Next clip. I don't want to dwell on the Sloan thing anymore, except I believe it's possible, and I would like to explore this, because if I find out, hey, Mike, you got us, it's true. We liked how Sloan sounded. We liked Tara Sloan, and we named our band. We changed the spelling. You guys are going to owe me the biggest fucking apology.
Okay.
Yeah. I will gladly
eat crow.
Yeah, I will gladly apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. That was
good episode otherwise.
Yeah.
She's had a really good career too. Like she's done a lot of interesting stuff.
It sounds like she's
making
music too.
Yeah, there's going to be new Joy Drop.
Yeah, that's great.
Maybe Joy Drop will play a TMLX event.
Do you guys remember Thea Andrews?
Yeah.
I think whenever I the name Tara Sloan I see, I think of Thea Andrews.
She was on TSN for a while.
Yeah, like a cooking show, and then she went to the States for some
and
reason.
there was also like some trivia, like football trivia show or something that she hosted that played on with Tim Steves. I think he's dead now.
Oh, Tim's. Oh
Shout
my
out.
Shout
God.
out to Ridley Funeral Home.
That is a name I've not thought
Hey,
of.
quick observation. No FOTMs passed away this past
All
quarter.
right, we made it.
Yeah, team.
Oh, I was gonna talk about somebody who I really think should have been an FOTM, and I'm mad he didn't become an FOTM, but he died on April 1st, so that's actually not this previous quarter.
Right. I thought you were going to say someone you thought should have died.
There's many of those.
Sorry, who are you?
William Burrell.
Oh, yes.
Oh, William Burrell, of course.
And I talked to his sister last night. Yeah, and his nephew posted on Reddit about it, and then I did some digging and I found an interesting bio that Brad Wheeler quite likes, and I just shared before we started recording. I shared with Brad Wheeler from Globe and Mail the source of this bio that I uncovered that William Burrell wrote about himself. But he's the kind of guy who was walking amongst us all these years. Why did nobody tap me on the shoulder and say, you should talk to this guy? What I read so much of this guy's stuff in iWeekly in the 90s.
A real sort of Bukowski type.
Like he should have been an FOTM.
Yeah,
should have been.
I think of him and Art Bergman sort of together. Like sort of, I feel like they
Art had
similar.
bigger musical success.
Well, yes, but yeah.
But okay.
Key figure in this city.
Cold pizza. So Rob Del
Cold
Mundo
pizza,
reports
right.
in the live stream that Thea
Thank you,
Andrews' ESPN show was called Cold Pizza.
Thank you so much, Rob Del Mundo.
He's
Okay.
good. He was at the book launch.
He was there.
There are a lot of good. I want to give credit to this community I'm talking to right now. Really came out for Cam Gordon.
They did.
I hope you fucking come out for the El Macombo gig on May 21st.
I think you'll be
Thank you
pleasantly
all.
surprised.
I just don't want it to be an empty room.
No, this community.
Rob
supports
Proust
its own.
doesn't want it empty either. Yeah, this community hopefully comes out. But I will say I wanted to almost name check them. But when I see there's Cousin Jano, there's Leslie Taylor, Gilles LeBlanc is there, of course,
Yeah.
Rob Del Mundo, Neil Jays.
Yeah. Seemed to
Was
be on
there.
some sort of work call in the
Yeah,
back.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He went off to the back to
Yeah.
close the deal.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing, VP.
I know.
But there are a lot of great FOTMs in a.
I would say if you looked around the room, there was also a lot of interesting. And I saw Ken Hunt was there, former publisher, Toronto Life.
See, I don't think I know what he looks like.
He has like a beard, having a deep conversation with
That narrows it down.
Sammy Cohn.
Oh yeah, so Sammy Cohn was.
He used to work at Toronto.
He was
Life,
on the panel.
Yes.
Alan Cross was on a panel.
He sure
Alan
was.
Cross, yes.
And I was going to go up to Alan after
and
he was done.
confront him,
Not
right?
confront him, to make sure we're.
You said you were going to like take him outside and like
Yeah.
give him a thrashing.
I'm not going to fight Alan Cross, okay?
Oh my
I'm a
God,
lover,
give me
not
a
a fighter.
break.
I was going to make sure we're cool. Like I didn't want any bad blood between Alan Cross and I. But
He
the
bolted.
moment he was done with your event, Cam Gordon,
Yeah.
he's like Kaiser Soze, like that. He's gone.
I was-
he's busy.
Couldn't have left faster.
Yeah, he had a flight to catch. He was going to Bali the next day.
All right. Well, hope he caught his flight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
No more Sloan talk.
moving on.
Thank God.
Sean
Subdivision.
Cullen.
Oh, Sean Cullen.
Sean Cullen. he
Corky
was-
and the Juice Pigs.
Corky and the Juice Pigs, big time comedian.
Very funny.
Was here with Banjo Dunk.
Yeah.
Celebrating Stompin' Tom's heavenly birthday, I believe was to be his 90th.
I think that's correct.
Yeah. So they were doing a show at the Horseshoe.
Right.
Tribute show. I only have a very short clip from this episode. It was just a very funny story that Sean Cullen told. The Elmo came up. And of course, another good opportunity to plug Mike's show at the Elmo.
Go to torontomike.com. At the top, I put a link for Elmo gig. Click that. Buy 10 tickets. Your work is done.
I will be there. Cam, will you be there?
TBD.
I don't like
TBD.
this. I don't like
TBD.
this. I don't like to
TBD.
hear people say they're not going to be there.
Oh, okay.
If you had not gone so deep on the Sloan thing with Tara, then he probably would have bought a
Yeah.
ticket. But
Damn it.
anyway,
I was on the fence, and then
the talk of there was some talk of the Elmo, and your gig came up, and it sparked a story that Sean told. So I'll share that now.
Do you know I'm going to play the Elmo in May?
You are.
Yeah.
I played it in about 1988 with the Forgotten Rebels from Hamilton.
Of course.
oh, right.
With Mickey DeSadist.
Okay, who's in this new movie Kyrie Papoots just directed. I just had this director named Kyrie. You'd like this guy, actually. And he's got DeSadist as a actor in this thing. It was filmed in Hamilton.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So Sam Grosso, again, just react to all these
I
names.
have one short story.
Go ahead.
So, Mickey DeSadist, one of the guys in our group smoked a lot of dope. He was smoking backstage, and you could do that. And he said to Mickey DeSadist, "Hey, is there an ashtray here?" And Mickey DeSadist said, "You're standing on it, man." And then at that point in punk music, the thing was that people would spit on you from the audience. And Mickey DeSadist was so angry at the crowd. "Stop spitting on me! Stop spitting on me!" And it was hilarious because he's singing like "Bomb the Boats and Feed the Fish" about the Cambodian boat people, and angry that someone's spitting on him. That's
a great impression of him, though, because he's in this film. That's a great impression.
"Stop spitting on me."
Because I've seen this movie, which is called Junkie Run. And I found out from his wife, it's not Kyrie Papoots, like I've been saying for a couple of years now. It's Pappets.
Pappets.
I've been making it
Pappets.
like, I don't know. I've been giving it a little swagger.
Did you guys ever listen to the Jerky Boys?
I did.
Yeah.
There was like one of the characters sort of sounded like that impression.
Yeah.
Like
Saul,
Sizzle Chest. Saul.
Yeah, yeah.
We're Gen X,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
We heard the Jerky Boy.
Yeah. Hey, remember the Jerky Boys? We'll get to that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We'll save that fire.
Anyway, I love that little story.
Yeah.
Where I'm definitely going to spit on you at the Elmo. In
I
memory.
would welcome, if you buy a ticket, you can spit on me.
Okay,
Actually,
there it is.
Could I ask Tyler Campbell a question? You grew up in Hamilton.
I did.
Forgotten Rebels.
Footprint? Yeah, what footprint did the Forgotten Rebels have? Were they sort of known, even if you didn't know a lot?
I'm going to
about
guess
music,
second biggest punk band in Hamilton history.
Yeah, I remember. I remember as a kid knowing about them, and kids at my school would talk about them.
Big local band.
Yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It was like
Okay.
the one band I can think of until really Spoons came around, who were from Burlington, but we kind of assumed they were, or kind of claimed them as our own.
Yeah.
But they were like the Hamilton band that everyone knew.
But what about Teenage Head?
Wasn't Crowbar from Hamilton?
Crowbar was from Hamilton too, but
But Teenage Head wasn't the band you'd think of. I would think they'd be born.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a little of both. For whatever reason, I remember talking more about Forgotten Rebels and Teenage Head.
They're more edgy. Teenage Head, like in the 80s and 90s, we're kind of in a weird place.
Yeah.
Very weird place.
Yeah.
The Teenage Heads, didn't they change their name?
Yeah, they did.
That's right.
For Americans. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they were
Dave Rave will tell you that in Toronto Mike Archives.
That's right.
The longtime singer of Teenage Head.
Well, I kind of covered that with Liz Worth because I hope Dave, I think he might have heard it actually, but Dave Rave does present himself as more a member of the band than history might suggest. He was sort of adjacent.
Yeah.
Like he was there, but he wasn't on stage.
The biggest New York accent anyone I've ever heard from Hamilton.
That's right. That's right. Well done.
Before we move on, I'm just going to open this beer. It's,
I've got
Easter.
beer out. It's early. Yeah.
Happy Easter. Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home for Jesus.
3 p.m. I remember.
He'll be back.
And
yeah.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. He's going to be back. Okay.
And Chag Pesach Sameach.
Oh.
It's over, right? It's 2 days.
I believe so. But
we still, I mean, no podcast celebrates Passover more than Toronto Mike.
It's so true. It's so true.
Those 2 episodes I recorded, and I know he's itching to crack that, but those 2 episodes I recorded on March 31st, one of which dropped on April 1st, both very Passover heavy.
Are we excited that the Jays have a Jesus now?
Oh yeah,
Jesus
that's right.
Sanchez.
Jesus.
He had a home run.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a slugger.
How are the vibes over there?
They're good. They're high.
Well, it's 4-2, right?
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Yeah. They're not. They're
Get
not
2
really
out of
hitting.
3.
They're not really hitting, but that'll come around.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna
keep me
open this fucking
posted. Okay, that's a premium lager. The big news I have on the Great Lakes beer front is that the Sunnyside Session IPA, and by the way, Sunnyside is where the April Fool video by Chalk Circle, FOTM Chalk Circle band.
Nailed it.
So
Nailed it.
Sunnyside Session IPA is now available. We have a can on the table right now.
Indeed.
Excellent.
That's fresh, brother. Okay, shout out to Chris Tate, both of them. Okay.
All the
Tates. Okay. Dave Bedini.
Woo! Big name.
The Rheostatics, publisher of the West End Phoenix, general man about town, was in for a great chat, a wide-ranging chat, lots of
it was a good one. I think that's Bedini's best visit.
Yeah, he's just a great chat. Like he's got lots of stories, and he's just a captivating guy to listen to. And this episode was no different. He spent a little bit of time talking about the new Rios album and a couple of other topics.
And you and I were at the listening party.
We were at the listening party. That was a lot of fun.
With Kevin Hearn.
That's right. And and some other.
I didn't see Alex Lifeson though.
He was not there. He was not there.
Anyway. And I did call that they would play the Junos.
You did, yeah. Well,
the Rheostatics? They probably played before.
I don't think so.
You don't think they've ever played the
feel
Junos?
like they're too ethereal. Like I don't feel like they're ever going to play the Junos. They're too artsy.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
possible.
All right. Let's listen to Dave.
Dave Bedini. So there's you, there's Kevin Hearn, there's Alex Lifeson, Dave Clark, Tim Vesley, you got Hugh Marsh, and Gord fucking Downey. Where did that audio come from of Gord?
That's from a Lake Ontario Waterkeeper event. That was their annual gala. That was at the CBC. Gord. I heard him deliver that live, and always kind of stayed with me. And I talked to Mark.
Well, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. It was. We were really grateful to be able to play with Gord posthumously in the studio, and ran that a lot. You know, spent an afternoon just like trying lots of different musical ideas around it, and settle on that one. And when we played at the TD Music Hall, our second night of our Great Lakes Suite shows, Kevin brilliantly paused that story halfway through, and then we set off into this incredible jam with Hugh and Alex leading it. That when we performed that song, it lasted about a half an hour, that version, because Kevin brought the story back in once the jam had sort of ebbed, and it was one of the great musical experiences of my life.
Well, it sounded amazing, and when I was at the whatever that was, the
listening party.
Yeah, it was a listening party. Come on, Mike, wake up here. But it's just hearing Gord and those great lyrics and the music behind it. And again, we did tease it a little bit, but you know, when you see Peter Mansbridge speaking with Gord Downey, remember when Gord had to write Peter Mansbridge's name on his hand or whatnot. That's in Kevin Hearn's living room, and there's a special episode of Toronto Mike where I talked to Kevin about being there for Gord and Gord's final weeks, final months, and everything, and it's just beautiful to hear, Kevin and you guys playing with Gord again. It's hauntingly beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
The Drop Off is the name of that song, by the way, when you're picking up the Great Lakes Suite. The Drop Off there. Is there any involvement in this new album from Martin Tielli?
Oh, Martin. No, not on this record. Not this time. But we're hoping that.
Do we know how he's doing? Or is that too personal?
Well, no, I don't. No, I don't. We don't kind of really know. But he's working on music, and at his own pace, in his own space, in his own time. So Martin works really slow. He's really slow and really deliberate, and frankly, inefficient, if I can say that, having been in a band with him for a long time.
You can say that.
But when it does see the light of day, it'll be great. So yeah, we just our dialogue is still really,
and it's not for lack of trying on your part. He was invited.
Yeah, for sure. And then listen, there's at times people just kind of don't feel the project, and that's fine too.
That's fine too.
And he actually said, listen, ask Leifson to do it. Just ask Alex to do it. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna ask. But he was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Cam. You got a little Martin Tielli update there.
Yeah, which I'm always craving. That's just here, but I did listen to this episode and hearing just sort of what Martin's up to or not up to. It sort of reminds me of that article about John K. Sampson in Hazlitt about how, just these like heroes just sort of drop out and they're doing other things.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't want to explain what's John K. Sampson.
I heard him say the name Hugh Marsh. So I have a exclusive for you gentlemen.
Okay.
Oh. Do I have music for this? We need a stinger for the because Rush will play the Junos.
Get out your violin.
All right.
I can play the Rob Bowman clip again if that would help.
I have it on good authority with an inside source that there will be new live concert performances by FM.
Whoa.
And Nash the Slash, shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. So playing electric violin on these FM songs will be Hugh Marsh.
Wow.
Perfect.
I mean, that makes total sense.
Yeah. If anyone else.
And shout out to another Cam Hawkins, who will make his Toronto Mike debut and will dive deep into the history of FM and talk about his relationship with Nash the Slash, who was a big part of this past quarter, not just the episode about Nash the Slash, but I was at the viewing of the Nash the Slash Rises Again documentary, and it's got a bunch of FOTMs in there, like Don Pyle, for example, like a lot of interesting people.
You said
Farberman's in that, for God's sake.
Definitely gonna watch that. You said they did a nice job with it.
I thought they did a nice job.
Yeah,
good. I liked it.
Good. And the great Hall of Famer Rob Bruce did the music.
Yes, he is like he would make a score that sounded like
that's cool.
A sound-alike score that he did that was very
an
good.
homage.
That's awesome. Good for Rob.
Get around some of those music rights issues.
Can I just say that Rheostatics album's great? Like that is the perfect album they should be doing, and it did seem like a real celebration of community. And obviously they'd worked with Leifson and Hugh Marsh, and
it's really
whatnot.
beautiful.
Like it's perfect for like this stage in their career.
Yeah.
No argument here, and I really enjoyed that Bedini. I feel now that I have a rapport of Bedini and he's been over enough times that I can cherry pick the spots. Like you can't really do it all in one visit with Bedini. You got to break it up. There's a lot of stuff you want to cover with him. And I thought this last episode of Bedini was particularly strong because I could kind of laser target certain spots and get him to, especially the Stomp and Tom stuff, because I just had Sean Cullen and Banjo Dunk over to talk about the Heavenly Birthday. And of course, a lot of credit goes to Dave Bedini for the comeback of Stomp and Tom.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yep.
And it was good to get that those details.
And of course, we're just over 1 year, or maybe it's like just under 1 year. You ran to Dave Bedini on your bike.
That's how I met Supriya. That's how I met Supriya.
Yeah. On the way the Change of Heart show.
Yes. The Geary.
Yeah. That was wow.
Wild. Yeah, and Bruce Arthur, who revealed to me, and I think I can finally another exclusive.
It all connects.
He whispered to me, "Don't tell anyone, but I don't live in Toronto anymore."
Whoa.
Yeah. Where does
Breaking
he,
news.
Where does he live?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Wow.
He's a Vancouver guy.
I was going
Right.
to say he's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
West Coast.
Yeah.
But he went back.
Yeah.
Just to tie a bow on the Bedini thing, in a couple of weeks, there is an event. Actually, I think it might be next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. There is an event at the Paradise Theater where we went to that listening party, where they're doing a screening of The Newsroom, an episode of The Newsroom. I invited you to this. I don't know
The
if
Ken Finkelman newsroom.
Ken Finkelman will be there.
You have to say that because there's another.
Whoa.
newsroom.
Yes, sorry, the Ken Finkelman newsroom, the Canadian one, the good one. Ken Finkelman will be in attendance.
So Tyler was kind enough to make me his +1 for this, so I could
exciting.
storm the stage.
That's right.
Zweig style. He's
Yeah.
back in the calendar, by the way, for next quarter. Alan Zweig.
This is your chance.
And I'm going to tell Ken Finkelman to get his ass in the basement. We
Yeah.
need to talk.
Okay.
I need to know about that interview as a writer for The Simpsons that he walks out of and flies back
Right.
to Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, I have questions.
I
Airplane
assume you've
2.
invited him.
Oh, I've tried to. He's a tough one. I'm
do you even
impressed
get
that
to him?
Bedini got him. I guess you have to be Dave fucking Bedini to get
Yeah.
Ken Finkelman.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is Jeremy Hott's going to be there?
I don't believe so.
Okay, but I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
I
Tyler.
would like to know where Tanya Allen is. She was on The Newsroom, and I always had a bit of a crush
Who's on?
on
Do you
her.
know who else is going to be there?
Karen Hines, who played one of the producers, and then there were a couple of other names that I actually didn't.
Peter
recognize. Peter Callahan.
Callahan. He's
Yeah,
a big deal
He's
on
great.
that show.
Yeah, he was fantastic on that show.
Yeah.
And
And the
then-
gentleman who looks a bit like Mark McKinney. What's his Dave something maybe? There's another
Mark Farrell?
Mark Farrell. Yeah.
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 There's a Mark Farrell thing. I remember when he used. This is a total tangent.
He's in a lot of things.
He is. I think he has beef with Jerry D.
Oh, I love it.
And I would like to get to the bottom of it.
You've come to the right. You've come to the right place.
Mark Farrell in the old days of Twitter used to make like these little snide comments about Jerry D, and I really want to get to the bottom.
Remember
of that.
Twitter?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Mike,
Anyway.
have you ever invited Don McKellar over?
Not directly, but of course I would love Don McKellar on the show.
Okay.
Don McKellar is
Apropos
involved with
nothing.
Alan Zweig's movie, I think.
Is he?
Love Harold
Okay.
somehow.
Yeah.
And I bring up Zweig because I just chatted with him, and there's going to be a viewing of his vinyl documentary, which is like his magnus opus, really.
Yes.
Vinyl.
Okay.
And he's going to come over here before that viewing to kind of dive into vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to kick out his 10 favorite pieces of music on vinyl that he owns.
I saw you just had Andy Richter on his podcast.
I saw that too, and I actually had
It's a big get.
I had a coffee yesterday.
get.
No, 2 days ago I had a coffee with this guy Michael Mongiardi, who's an FOTM.
Okay, yeah.
And he's producing, his company is producing that series, and he was joking that that's their gateway to Conan. Like their plan is to get Conan by getting Andy on
I
first.
think that's a stretch.
Is this the person involved in the new Weston funded publication Giant? Be Giant? Am I mixing
No,
this? I think I'm mixing this up.
They're called the Sonar Network.
I feel like you said someone's involved in Giant.
Yeah, someone who's close to Bedini is.
I feel like it's some name like whatever that name you just said.
No, this is unrelated. This is
Okay.
the Sonar Network, and they're actually, if TMU might know them best, is they are the ones who now take a cut of dynamically inserted ads you might hear on Humble and Fred.
I gotta say,
so that's where this comes in.
the
That's where
last
it-
2 minutes of audio is proof positive what you say if you're listening to this.
Well,
like, oh
yeah,
my
but
God.
this is the episode where we can
wow.
talk to the real heads.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And if we lose them, good.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.
But there's a lot of like news in there. There's a lot of
We
news,
dropped
like
some
Bruce
bombs,
Arthur,
man. Hugh
Martin
Marsh and
Shelley.
FM.
Yeah.
We're dropping bombs,
Yeah.
brother.
If you care, you care. If you don't, that's cool too.
That's fine too. Go
Yeah.
listen to another
Listening's
podcast.
optional.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, where you at, Tyler?
Where I'm
I
at.
like how we're shortening the episodes.
I'm
Way
dubious.
to go.
I'm
We're talking
dubious.
about less episodes, but we're talking more.
Yeah.
That's
Because
right.
we like each other.
It's a good,
It's a good
model.
hang.
But remind me, at some point you have to ask me what I did last night because I think it's interesting,
Okay.
even though it's technically not the previous quarter.
There's no logical point where I would ask you about that, but we'll get it in.
You want me to do it now? Real
Let's
quick?
do it now. I think you want to talk about
Fuck
this.
it, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
So,
What did you do last night, Mike?
I was hired by sponsor of the program, Nick Iones.
Mm.
And let me tell the listenership that he's got a great podcast called Building Toronto Skyline.
You ought to
and
listen
we
to
did, you ought to listen to that. And there's another one with me, but listen to Building Toronto Skyline. We did a live recording of Building Toronto Skyline with special guest Brad Bradford.
Whoa.
And we did this last night. So I packed up my studio and I set it up at this lovely restaurant called The Alley.
How'd you get there?
I had to drive, and it was rainy, and I hated that drive.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Not fun.
I actually thought to myself, I could bike this in 2 hours. And it felt like I was in the car for 90 minutes, and I would make that trade every day of the week. But, I had a lot of gear with me and stuff. But we recorded video, audio. It all went off without a hitch. Brad Bradford in front of a very big, boisterous crowd of Brad Bradford supporters. This was last night. And somebody in the WhatsApp group linked me to a Progress Toronto post on Instagram, which was something to the effect of, hey, you might not be able to get a meeting with Brad Bradford in East York, where he's a city councilor, but if you pay $250 and drive to Woodbridge or something, you can have a conversation with him. Right. And once I saw that and again, I've been accused of being a lefty, if you will.
I've heard that.
I've been told I'm a lefty, but the moment I saw Progress Toronto slag this event or whatever, I was so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I was glad to be there. I enjoyed the experience. Again, I was hired to be there. It was a gig for TMDS, and it all went off without a hitch, and that's where I was last night, hanging with Brad Bradford and Nick Ienes, feeding my family.
Toronto mayoral candidate.
And Brad Bradford, and it was a great conversation, and and soon I'll be able to share it in the wild if you're interested what transpired.
Yeah, very leaned in.
But one key thing, I had been told along the way that this was going to be a fundraiser for Brad Bradford, and then I was educated, and I'm here to clarify definitively for the record, Ed Keenan, not a fundraiser.
Oh.
You cannot raise funds for a candidate until May 1st, 2026.
Those funds are just hanging around.
You
They're
can't
in the
even.
ether.
You can say you're going to run for mayor, which Brad has done, but you can't even officially run for mayor until May 1st. May 1st is when the campaigning may begin.
But we do know John Tory not running.
Well, he said he's not running. Michael Ford is not running.
He's
not running.
He's out.
We can assume Olivia Chow will run.
Yes.
Yeah. And who else? Who else we got? Josh Matlow. He's
not going to run.
Yeah.
He's not going to run.
Anthony Fury.
Because Matlow would have to leave his seat as a councillor to run. Because it's not the by-election was that once in a lifetime chance. Yes. That's why Bradford ran and everything.
When do we think Amber Morley will make a run?
Not yet. Like she's only done 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Like she's a first-time councillor. So she'll run for re-election. She won't get the vote from Andy the Barber. Okay.
That's right.
In his farewell. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Andy the Barber.
Andy. I miss Andy.
He's in the Maritimes as we speak.
Digging a hole.
He's digging a hole.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Perfect. You know what? That's why you host this. Okay, continue. I feel like I just wanted to tell the listenership.
I'm glad we got that.
So Brad Bradford, who is the only person who said he's running so far. We'll find out later like who else joins this race. But I don't think he's well liked in the TMU.
I would say generally not.
And I would say you don't have to vote for him. You can vote in the privacy of that booth, vote for whoever you want. I'm going to vote for who I want in the privacy of that booth. As you should. But don't be afraid of a conversation with Brad. I am going to probably have Brad over for a conversation, and my role will be to get him off talking points and to talk about things.
Be a real person.
And I think I find Brad is actually a real person. Like he's a real person. He listens to Toronto Mike.
He shows up to like all your events.
He comes out to every TMLX event he can show up to. He loves Toronto Mike.
Yeah.
And I think he's well aware that's when Zweig rushed the table.
That's right.
At Palma's Kitchen, delicious Italian food in Mississauga.
And then we did the Nighthawks parody that he didn't like. But, shout out to Edward Hopper. It was a highbrow. I thought that was almost a version of.
Thank you. You always raise the level of discourse.
Well, I was gonna say when you had the world's biggest like rubber ducky, and did we learn anything from
my Twitter fame?
Yeah, but it's like highbrow, a bit of history, a bit of art.
That was the Trojan War.
Yeah, Andrew Ward talked.
Did we learn nothing about the Trojan? Yeah, Andrew Ward is my TSO connect.
Oh my god,
totally.
Yeah.
And God bless him. Yeah. Andrew, buy a ticket at the Elmo so I can talk about this with you on the stage at Elmo.
Sorry, can I just ask one random question apropos? Did anyone go to Rusty?
We were talking about that
before you came.
Yeah, I didn't go.
The cat like just came and went.
What day was it?
I think it was like on Saturday.
Yeah.
Night.
Moose Grumpy is risking her real head status. She's dropping off the live feed because she has family obligations. She says, Happy Good Friday to all. But I'm here to ask you, as a guy who was raised Catholic, I went to Catholic schools. It's not a happy day. Like, you're not supposed to have a happy Good Friday.
Yeah. He fucking died.
Like, he dies at 3. And
for all of our
as I
sins.
recall.
At 3?
Yeah.
3 p.m.?
Is that?
I went to Catholic schools.
Three
Okay?
three Eastern time or GMT? What are we talking about?
That's a great question. What the fuck?
Bethlehem.
So, I believe
that's where he was born.
I believe at 3:00 p.m. Eastern time, of course. That's how Jesus rolled.
Yeah.
Is when he dies. And I believe today is a day, like, not a happy day.
It's a sad day.
Not a Good Friday.
Like, you're supposed to, like, not even have fun today. Like, you shouldn't even be drinking that fucking beer over there.
Yeah. This is not a day for Wang Chung.
We should have some fish, like eating some fish here.
Or listening to fish, like Canada Kev.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
None of it.
Yeah.
Be
None
sad.
of it, yeah.
Be sad today. Yeah, none of it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right, back to the clips,
Oh
brother.
my God, we're taking so much time here.
Shout out to MF who's on the live stream, and I saw her at the Handlebar at Kensington Market.
She
The
did
delightful
make an
MF.
appearance. Yes.
Yes.
I think she got taller.
We all did.
Wish I was taller. Wish I was a baller. Okay.
Skilo.
That's right.
Name another Skilo song.
I can't. And I won't.
Continue.
Moving on. A really fascinating episode from this quarter was the great Simone Denny. MF says hell from DC.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think that's a typo.
Yeah.
She corrected.
She's on enemy territory, hopefully for
Yeah.
work purposes.
No doubt. No doubt.
And it is hell.
Seconded for a few
Yes.
days.
Anyway, sorry. Back to Simone Denny, member of Love Inc.
She's a superstar.
Yeah. And, a topic that comes up on this show repeatedly is where in the world is Chris Shepard? You didn't really get into that with Simone, but she had some very interesting things to say about her time with Chris, and particularly about how things ended with Chris. So let's listen to Simone.
What the hell happened in Regina? So
Okay.
So is Wiki suggests that you were going to be at like a Chris Shepard DJ show, and you were going to sing songs live, but you had to pull out, and then the club says no Simone, no show. She's the star. What happened there? Is that what happened?
I can tell you what happened. David Brady at the time was Chris Shepard's manager, and I was already at a point where I was thinking I've got to leave, and he approached me at the last minute, just before, a few days or a week before the tour would leave. And he's like, we need to know if you're in, yes or no. And at that point, there was a lot of tension happening in the group. And I said, no, I don't think I can tour at this time, but thank you for the offer. And I think Chris legally felt that he's like, well, and I think his words exactly were, well, I'm Love Inc. legally, and so we can go forth and do the tour. And what happened is he started to do the tours, and I think he tried to replace me with another girl who kind of looked like me but didn't sound like me. And so he started to do the tour, and each venue would call ahead to the next venue saying Simone's not there, and the next tour and the next show and the next show would keep canceling shows. And so within about a week span, the entire tour was canceled because I wasn't there, and they had to call it, pack it up and come home.
Yeah, they're not interested in Kirkland brand Simone Denny.
No. I mean, I don't even know who the girl is, because apparently they took her also to the UK, because it was launching off in the UK in 2003, 2002, to Top of the Pops. And when they got there with her, they were like, this is not Simone Denny. I'm sorry, we can't proceed.
So on the bright side, that must feel nice to know and hear. Like that you're not just an interchangeable part here.
Exactly. I was never an interchangeable part, and I don't think they realized it. I think they thought we can kind of put any black girl that sings in there and it'll work. And it's like, they found out the hard way it did not.
So that's the end, essentially.
That was
that's
it.
The end of Love Inc.
That was
and
it.
that's the last time you talked to
Well,
Chris
there were negotiations. We tried to negotiate, and I ultimately had to choose me, because there were many factors. I thought, as a woman in this industry, everybody was talking about it. As a woman in this industry, everybody knowing what was going on, and I go back to the group and I accept that treatment, what message am I sending as a woman in the industry to other women coming up in the industry, and also to other people in the industry who are watching me? They're like, she went back. That would have been really horrifying for me. And that was, I had to really save myself at this point.
Well, kudos to you for having the courage there to stand up for yourself.
Had to.
No, good. That's why
Had
you're
to be done.
being celebrated so much over the next few weeks.
I appreciate
It's
it.
all
I
coming
appreciate
back
it. It was a very difficult part in my life because I had worked so hard to get to that success, and so to have to make that decision to walk away was heart-wrenching.
I liked Simone Denny very much.
She's delightful. Like
Yeah.
what a great spirit, great energy.
Would you say she's a superstar?
100% superstar.
I did not realize that she was the vocalist on the Queer Eye song. I did not know that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Absolutely. Big deal. And that's why I made her visit the basement. I said, you're a big deal. We got to talk about all this. And you're right. It wasn't the heart of that whole Where's Chris Shepard thing with the CFNY doc and everything. And I said, she worked with Chris Shepard. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. No one knows.
Notes.
No one knows where. I will say, I was just showing Tyler, and we might have talked, like, she actually tours as something called Love Inc. still in Europe. I don't think I realized that they had a presence outside of Canada, but like, because I follow her on Instagram and I see periodically she's playing in like Glasgow or different parts of the UK under the moniker Love Inc. Often with like a package of like other 90s stars. Like this one's with N-Trance, who I feel like they did Staying Alive, like the cover. Was that them?
Yeah. I think.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
But I would say that would be like a techno trip or some kind of
like a little package. Anyway, I'm just curious how she uses the Love Inc. moniker.
Yeah,
but
fascinating.
Maybe it just kind of overseas.
You know what would fit right in with that? The techno version of Walking in Memphis.
Yeah,
so true.
Like here's another one. This one's in Liverpool. Shout out to the Paul McCartney
my God.
exhibit. But this is Love Inc. featuring
Liverpool.
Simone Denny. So maybe that's sort of the workaround. I thought that was a donut. It's a QR code.
So
anyway,
she may have that IP, or Shep just doesn't know.
Well, they can't find him.
Like,
So what are they?
what's he gonna do?
If he wants to sue, he's going to have to
come out of the
surface.
woodwork. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Simone Denny's calling him out like, surface, asshole.
Come get me.
Come at me.
Here's a photo of her and Molly Johnson.
Speaking
Well, two great musicians.
Let's
right
just
there.
describe Instagram. The rest.
That's a good segue for this next clip.
Yeah, it's a great segue for
Did
this
you
next
do that on
clip.
purpose, Cam?
I did.
That was really good.
Set all that up
That was
brilliantly.
really good.
This is really well.
We're all
Okay.
professionals here, and I would just want to call that. I think we're doing a great job.
Nobody's listening, and we don't care.
We don't care.
We're just chewing the fat.
Speaking of Molly Johnson, which we often do.
Often.
Gordy Johnson, no relation.
No.
From Big Sugar.
Oh, he's I used to work with him. He's named after me, Gord.
That's right, Gordon Johnson.
Gord must be. Anyway, go on.
What's he drinking over there?
He's just drinking soup.
Ever since he released that
Consommé.
fucking book, he's
That's
been different.
Some hot consomme.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had a great chat with Gordy Johnson. I'm surprised it took so long for you to get Gordy Johnson on this show. I don't know why.
I think it was back to I wanted Gordy in the basement. And then
yeah.
at some point I threw up my hands and said, fuck it, we'll do it not live.
Yeah. What's the
still
name
live.
of his new concern? The thing he does. He's in Austin.
Oh, the Texas, yeah.
Grady?
Grady.
It's
Thank
Grady,
you. Grady.
yeah.
That was what I was looking for. Grady. Thank you. Anyway, here's Gordy Johnson talking
Grady
about
Sizemore.
the very central to the TMU ethos, Molly Johnson. Let's hear Gord.
Can we talk about Molly Johnson?
Oh, yeah. I wish you would.
Like, can you share with us, the listeners? We all know Molly on Toronto Mic'd, okay? She's a big part of the TMU, the Toronto Mic'd universe. But what role does Molly Johnson play in the trajectory of Big Sugar?
She plays a pretty massive role. That woman saved me from the street more than once. I had no place to live at a point. I was sleeping in a car, and then I would sort of move to a different car. It's like you can't sleep in a car. You have to sleep in a house. You're staying at my house. We were roommates for a while at the Cameron House on Queen Street. We shared an apartment there, and then eventually she got herself a place. But she really just sort of grandfathered me into all this stuff in Toronto. Because again, I was just like young guy hustling, playing the blues, playing some jazz, playing some rockabilly, which is out there on the street with my guitar, trying to make ends meet. Toronto tough,
Yeah.
And we got a call one day from Molly saying that she wanted Big Sugar to be her backing band. She had a gig, and would we learn some songs and back her up? And we're like, sure. You're like sort of famous jazz singer, but we're more of a blues band. But yeah, that would be cool. That sounds interesting. We got to her apartment and we're sitting around learning songs. Well, what's the gig exactly, Molly? Like, what should we wear? She's like, oh, we're opening for Ray Charles at Ontario Place on Sunday, like this Sunday.
Wow.
So that was our first show. We got to meet Ray Charles and play with Ray Charles at Ontario Place in front of 20,000 people Sunday afternoon. Yeah, so that's a pretty big opportunity. Thanks, Molly. And after that, we were her band. We just did everything thick as thieves. She was like a big sister to me. And she did a thing. She wouldn't come on stage at the beginning of the show. We would have to play a little bit of instrumental jazz or something. We'd play a song, get the crowd just kind of, everyone in their seat, quiet and ready for Molly to come out. We'd introduce and play her walk-in music. She'd walk on. And then she stopped coming out. We'd be playing a song and she'd say, Gordon, I'm not coming out until you sing a song. It's like, yeah, I'm not really I don't, no, you need to sing a song. When? Like, yes, tonight. So I'd have to sing a song before she'd come out. Okay. And the crowd kind of liked that. And then she'd started insisting I sang for the second set 2 songs. And then she'd make me sing songs with her, do little duets and stuff. So really pushed me into being a singer.
Okay, Gordy Johnson celebrating this angel known as Molly.
That's right.
Yeah.
The first and only time I ever saw Big Sugar play was in Hamilton and Hess Village, and some sort of outdoor stage. And they were like, Molly Johnson was the headliner, and they were her band. And it was pretty much exactly as he described. Like, they played a few songs, he sang a couple songs, and then she came on stage.
So is she just doing like solo stuff, but also like infidel stuff? Like,
I don't think there was any infidel stuff. I think it was mostly like jazz and blues stuff that she was doing. Yeah,
interesting. You know, it's a good song. I think it's called "Happy Now I Know" by The Breeding Ground.
That's big much music jam.
Yeah, I love that song with her on backing vocals.
Yeah,
very 80s.
Why do you think I invited Molly over? Big fan here.
Here's the answer.
Will you ever have Molly back?
That came up in an episode recently. I can't remember who asked it, but the answer is if Molly wanted to come on, I would have her on.
Okay.
That's the answer. I'm not gonna.
That's the answer.
I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna pursue.
I'm not pursuing. But if Molly had any desire to come on Toronto Mic'd again, the door is open to her.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, those 2 great FOTMs in this photo cam showing me here. Okay,
this is a very photo heavy episode.
It's not a visual presentation.
I was actually showing Mike that younger Gordy Johnson kind of looks like Cam Gordon.
Yeah.
You could be brothers.
Just handsome.
No.
Handsome.
Yeah.
He's more rugged.
Well, you can be rugged.
He's your rugged brother. Anyway.
You're a very handsome man, Cam Gordon.
Thank you.
You know
are
this,
too.
right?
You guys are too.
All right,
we're different handsome.
Let's class this place up a little bit, shall we? Like we're
Oh,
we've been a little lowbrow. That's kind of how we roll. At least you and I, maybe not Cam.
Oh yeah, me too.
But Linda Cash, the great Linda Cash, this was a really nice conversation, and this was quite an emotional moment. I actually got a little verklempt listening to this part of the episode. Let's listen to Linda talking about her mom.
Why don't you tell us, Linda Cash, what are we listening to?
We're listening to my mother singing. I believe she's singing. Okay, here it is. Like, I can't tell you how many times I saw my mother singing on the stage, and I was just teasing my brother, and we weren't listening, or I was asleep, or she would raise her amazing eyebrow from the stage going, "Please behave, children." My mom was the very famous Canadian national treasure, Maureen Forrester. And, I really did not appreciate who she was and how special she was until she was gone, which is, it's always the case. And I am, in fact, reading her book right now because I'm doing a talk on Monday about her, and I'm hoping to write something like a presentation, because this book, which is not in publication anymore, it's called Out of Character, and it's about my mother's very humble beginnings in Montreal and how she made her way to a debut in New York and then got to Europe and eventually did La Scala and Tanglewood. And, we traveled all over the place. She had 5 kids. I'm number 4, Opus 4, as my dad would call me. And we had an amazing life. But she was, she had an extremely special gift. I have talent. I love what I do, but it's nowhere near what my mother was born with, and worked very casually in her life. Was not pretentious. She just hummed a little while she put her makeup on, went out on stage, and blew everyone's mind.
Yeah, I loved my Linda Cash conversation, and that was a highlight for sure, talking about Maureen Forrester.
Yeah. Families are complicated. She mentions like reading the biography of her mom after the fact, almost to sort of get a better, almost like sense of who mom really was. Because she talked about
had early
mom traveling,
onset of dementia.
Yeah. It's very touching.
Yeah, it really was. And just like having that come out of your mouth.
I know, it really did class up the joint, actually. I felt the change in the
like
atmosphere.
a big mouthful
here.
of cream cheese.
It's like, here we are digging a hole with big sugar, and then that comes on. It's like, holy shit.
But like the Philly cream cheese angel, Seinfeld, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show. Like she's done a lot of, and Mornings with Dan Duran and Peterborough.
Right.
Was she the only Seinfeld actor you've had on the show? I know you had. Someone was like a writer?
Oh, Jonathan Gross.
Jonathan Gross.
Jonathan Gross is Marjorie Gross was Jonathan's sister.
Yeah.
This was a funny episode she was on, the lip reader.
Yeah. No. I
don't want to sweep alone.
It was. I played clips too. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I've had anyone who's been on Seinfeld beyond Linda Cash. I don't know. But what strikes me is that Linda Cash, Gordie Johnson, Tara Sloan, and Dean McTaggart. Do you know what they all have in common here?
None of them were on Tears Are Not Enough.
They were all on Zoom.
Oh.
So I feel like it's working against me here because that's a big percentage. You're playing like 11 clips and like 4 of them
you've done
weren't
a lot
even
of Zoom.
in the basement.
A lot of Zoom this quarter.
Dean, I can't remember. Each of them has their own reason. Well, Tara did the bait and switch.
Dean McTaggart lives like kind of far away.
Yeah, and I couldn't get Gordie in the basement, so I gave up. And Linda Cash lives kind of far away, like near Peterborough or something like that.
Sorry, does Gordie live in Texas still? Or?
I think he does, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. He was on tour when I talked to him. He was in like Alberta or something like that, or somewhere in the prairies.
Sounds like he just woke up. he was like the Don Landry, Sleepy Wilner.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of Don Landry, Sleepy Wilner, because I had Don Landry do a Vic Router.
Oh, yeah.
That I played for Vic, and Vic announced his retirement yesterday.
Do a Vic Router. What does that mean?
Dueling Vics. And
dueling. Okay.
Dueling
I thought
Vics.
you said do a Vic Router.
No, well, he did do a Vic Router impression.
Then make the final.
Make the final. So, so shout out to Don Landry.
Yeah, shout out to Don
Who
Landry.
did the 2 impressions. Sleepy Wilner and Dueling Vics.
Yeah.
Do a
You
Vic
know
Router.
what? You're right. Shout out to Don Landry.
All right, home stretch here.
We're
because
real
we're
close.
way longer than this is too. It's too damn long.
You know what? I think it's perfect. Okay. The next episode has no clip. We heard a small clip off the top. Dave Mendonca. We've talked a lot about nostalgia
guy.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about nostalgia. You know, with Cam's book has an element of nostalgia to it.
Mark Carney said that nostalgia is not a strategy.
He did.
It's not wrong.
Don Draper said that nostalgia is a pain for something that.
Yeah, Teddy told him that.
Yeah, Teddy told him that.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's Teddy.
A Greek guy that Don knew.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's a great clip.
Great clip. Anyway,
that's
Dave,
the carousel, right?
Yes,
The Coda.
yeah,
Yeah,
season
that
1
is
finale.
maybe my favorite clip.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
Wonderful episode.
The guy was weeping in the pitch.
Yeah, that's right. Harry Crane had to leave.
Oh my God.
The room because
Yeah.
it was so. Anyway,
Yeah.
Dave Mendonca, Nostalgia AEH on TikTok.
Right.
His brand is nostalgia, like Canadian nostalgia. I didn't pull a clip because I didn't want to embarrass Dave Mendonca. I don't think we need to do that, but I think we should talk about it because. And this will come up again in a minute.
Almost worse. Like setting it up like that.
Maybe it
ahead.
is. This will come up again in a couple of minutes when I play the last clip. But what he's doing, and the Cecil Fielder thing, I think, was the sort of the pinnacle of the whole thing, right? Like very early in the conversation.
But it was tied with another one. There was back to back.
Well, it was the Michael Johnson.
And I can't remember now which one was
Oh, yeah, the
first.
race.
But he saw this calendar I'm pointing to
Yeah.
now. And that's May 1986. George Bell is the player featured there.
Yes.
And then he looks at me, and it's not like he's doing a bit. Like I could see, Cam or Stu would do this as like a bit, but he was being very sincere. He said, "Do you remember Cecil Fielder?"
Right.
And I don't think I pounced. Like I think you get one or whatever, but like, yeah, of course I remember Cecil Fielder. He hit 50 home runs in the majors.
Yes.
Like
more.
And I'm older than this. Early 50. Yeah. More than 50 home
We
runs.
had a 50 home run season.
Yeah. And I mean,
hit one out of Tiger
so
Stadium.
I'm already,
That's right.
yeah.
On the roof.
My thought was, you almost should have pulled the clip. I said, "Do you know where you are?" Like,
Yeah.
But then just before Dave got here, Donovan Bailey was here for his show, and I mentioned Donovan Bailey's name. And then Dave looked at me in all sincerity and asked me, "Do you remember when Donovan Bailey raced Michael Johnson in that 150-meter race at Skydome?" And then I kind of lost it, and he knew it too. Like,
Yeah.
I felt
He said, "I feel like I've offended you."
Yeah.
it wasn't offended. It was more like, how can you be so completely unaware of what podcast you're on right now?
Yeah.
Like, at least have some, because it's not like this was booked through a PR person. He wrote me a cold email and said, "Can I please come on and talk about my TikTok channel?" And I'm like, I don't have a TikTok account, but if you want to talk Canada nostalgia,
I'm your guy.
I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And he came over, and that's precisely what I was anticipating, to talk about Canada nostalgia. But I didn't expect that kind of...
Well, and I think the thing you said to him shortly after that was, you got to up your game.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's
Like-
it, because everybody remembers Cecil Fielder.
Okay, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. His formula, it's pretty. I'll call it like high concept. Hey, remember this thing? Consumers Distributing used to fill out the sheet. Yeah,
Right.
you don't do that anymore. Anyway, see you tomorrow.
Right. Like, oh, remember this thing.
And
let's remember some stuff.
Yeah, let's remember some guys, but sort of like
Yeah,
a
just-
1-minute version, and there's a place for that on the internet.
Sure.
It's not in this basement.
Yeah, but it's not in this basement. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I kept thinking, okay, we're going to drill in for some. There's going to be a mind blow or a fun fact I didn't know, or something, some context to it that maybe isn't at the surface. Because everybody, so nostalgia, you can't have nostalgia for something you didn't experience. Like, I can't have nostalgia for when man landed on the moon.
Remember Woodstock?
Right. Like, that's a good point. I can't have nostalgia.
Yeah, but big in Canada, they're talking about Gowan. They weren't there for like Gowan as it
Well, sure. I talked about 1050 Chum as a top 40 station with Tim Thompson. Not Tim Thompson. Doug Thompson.
Yeah.
Tim Thompson is the
montage.
The montage.
Hockey
music guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm getting off topic here.
Yeah.
But so you had to have memories of it for you to enjoy the nostalgia and experience the nostalgia, right? So now we need to, like, okay, maybe you didn't know this about the Michael Johnson Donovan Bailey race, or did you know that Donovan, he got $5 million for participating, and then he got this for winning or something like that. Like,
does the GP want this though? Do they not just want to see, like, I remember
the general population?
I remember that.
Well, fucking Red Lobster wants it. He's got the Red Lobster money.
So I don't know. You said you don't want to embarrass Dave. I don't want to embarrass Dave either.
No,
'cause,
it's just
he seemed like
different.
a lovely man,
He seemed like a very nice guy. Yeah.
and I think he's laughing all the way to the
Got that
bank.
lobster
And good for
money.
him.
Like, Red Lobster
Crustacean,
waving money at him, right?
Crustacean cash.
They're bringing endless shrimp back.
I'm saying, for my taste, and what I'm trying to do is, I don't want the surfaced "do you remember Cecil Fielder" peace out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want that. I need deeper.
Let me reframe, because
Yeah.
I feel like I've done Dave dirty. Like,
Yeah, Dave might hear this, and he's a lovely
and that's
man.
fine. I hope he does. I think
different type of product.
it is a different thing. Like,
Different thing.
He's out of his element here. because that level of surface nostalgia is just it's something we've called a level 1 convo in the past.
Right, yeah,
you know?
which we rebranded.
We're working on a new name. You're right.
But it's just so elemental, right? It's like, yeah, of course we remember that. Like, do you remember Wendell Clark? Yes, of course I do. But it works because on TikTok there's lots of people who maybe don't remember those.
Maybe I'm not appreciating the media that is TikTok because I'm not on it.
Yeah,
Cameron, you on it?
Yeah.
Is track changes on it?
No. But like, it's also like we've talked a lot about like these Facebook, like the old Canada series.
Yeah.
It's almost like God, and we love Eric Alper, but it's the same thing. It's like every 3 months.
You're regurgitating the same.
Yeah, this photo of the one I've seen a lot lately is like Marilyn Monroe at Banff, because she filmed a movie, and there's like the photo series you can get on the archives. That old Canada series on Facebook seems, every time I look at it, it seems like it's that exact photo.
Yeah.
Or the photo of like Joseph Bloor.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like that
might come
every
up
time
again.
it's like there's fucking 200 people, and it's frustrating for me as it's frustrating. So I'm trying to like actually like mine actual like I'm mining Bitcoin with.
So I would say consumers distributing is a great example, right?
Care.
Like there's that surface hit, like, oh, remember consumers distributing? You had to fill out a form, find out it wasn't in stock or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, like circling things in the catalog or whatever. Like we all have it. But what I want to do is let me find somebody, Lorraine Summerfield. Is that Feld? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me find somebody who worked there for many, many, many years, and let's dive into like the behind the scenes, get something new about consumers distributing.
Okay, this is actually really good because I don't know why. Like sometime in Q1, Consumers Distributing came up with a coworker.
Oh.
And because I work very close to like
maybe they follow the nostalgia account
I think
TikTok.
it was because I work near like Newtonbrook Plaza where there used to be, and then the person said, oh, I used to go there. I said, oh, my friend actually just did a podcast with someone who worked there and was talking about the stock with. This person could not have been less interested in hearing about. They just want like, yes, this existed. Let's go on with our life.
Okay.
They don't. So it just,
and that's what TikTok is for, right?
Different
Like
product.
like if you want
quick hits,
if you want a deep dive, you're going to come here. If you want like a 30-second, like, hey, remember
TikTok
this thing?
like a chocolate? You're hungry. It's a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
But if you want a substantial meal with nutrients, you got to come here.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to capture people's attention.
So I mean,
snack size.
What he's doing again, a big brand like Red Lobster is giving him money to be associated with that.
He's obviously doing something.
There's
right.
obviously, and he talks about millions of people viewing these things, right? So there's obviously a huge audience for those quick little dopamine hits or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
And maybe there'll be a smaller audience for the deep dive, but it'll be a more like attentive, invested audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's again like sort of this passive consumption of content. It's like a real, like a lot, even like Netflix.
The scrolling, right?
Yeah, like content designed for people that are not paying attention, which I think is like so unbelievably fucked up at like the Netflix level if you're doing like full movies.
Oh right, you have to reiterate the plot every 20 minutes.
That's like the old Toronto AI stuff. Like you read the comments and it's like, oh my god, I remember that.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
so
what are you talking about?
Yeah, so I get a lot of this pushed to me on Facebook. The vintage Toronto is one brand or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all AI, almost all AI slop.
Like
and you go into the comments, and a lot of people don't seem to be aware this is
it's like,
bullshit.
Toronto used to,
or they don't care. But it's again, why are people going to see fucking Foreigner with no original members? It's like I feel like we talked about this last time. It's like, hey, all you fucking people on the lawn, do you care? There's no original members. 90% of people.
That's a tribute band that had the legal.
I can't do this.
I had a dream. Somebody would storm out.
The first storm out.
I did not think it would be Cam.
It's not you guys.
Gordon.
I just.
Anyway.
So what do we blame this on the breakdown of? Society?
Yeah. I think so.
I also think that's
a Mo Sislak.
Scott, I hate to like bring it back to. I think it's like a technology thing.
I wrote in 1996. I wrote my my thesis paper on the death of the attention span.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Okay. Wow.
And and that was 30 years ago when
you were blaming Much Music and MTV. You were blaming me.
Yeah, I was blaming TV mostly.
Oh, Sesame Street was big on this, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fucking Sesame Street.
So these apps that keep. I see. My wife. I see these people go on they go on the scroll on Instagram or whatever it is, and they're doom scrolling or whatever, and it's designed by the same people who work at casinos to get you invested in the one-armed bandits and stuff. Like, it's all science, And yeah, how is that world that is emerging ever going to listen to 2.5 hours on Tears Are Not Enough?
But I think there's a way to do this. I don't know if you guys are following Tim.
I'm going to quit the fucking program. There's no point.
We've talked about Tim Shore.
I would love to have him on.
Just created a new Substack to talk about like the origin story of BlogTO and whatnot. And it's, I feel like some people have some opinion because it's a very different approach to media. But I think what he did with BlogTO was actually the right way to do what you're describing, where there's actually value.
Sunnyside Session IPA just popped.
Yeah, and like he always talks about, well, how do we do service and sort of respect our reader? And I do feel like at its best, BlogTO did a good job at balancing both.
Yep.
Where it's quick hit, quick information, but useful information that doesn't sort of treat its readers like idiots. Not saying any of this stuff treats their viewers like idiots, but I don't know. It's a different type of like attention economy. This is a good book. I don't know if you guys have read this. Ben Smith, he used to be like the media critic for the New York Times Traffic. It's all about the rise and fall of like Gawker and BuzzFeed. It sort of gets into the same topic, but anyway, I feel like this is going off the rails.
It's just that there is an audience and a desire for the Dave Mendonca, the Dave Mendonca content, the
Eric Alper
remember
content,
this, remember this man.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be the place for that.
Yeah.
But is this like, I feel like you squint a bit and there's a bit of retro kid, this is all
a byway bag.
Yeah, byway bag here, retro kid there, Hey Canada, Cecil Fielder.
You know where I'm going? That's Bo Burnham. I'm going into that whole white woman Instagram. Byway bag.
No clue.
A Shoppers Drug Mart Blue Jays calendar.
Could have been the Richard Floyle. Could have been the wine.
Hey, that's a good callback.
Okay, well,
we gotta cook, brother. I actually got family shit I gotta do.
What's your heart out?
Well, I got a heart on right now. To finish this fucking episode.
We're almost home. Okay, 2 more clips, and then some more clips, and then some more chat,
and then 4 different types of features,
and then we're out.
Yeah, but they're the quick ones. This episode is just what's it called again?
FOTMcast.
No, but what's this section called? Wrapped. FOTMcast is 95% wrapped.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Yeah, but then the fun stuff is the other 5%. Anyway.
No, it's just my oldest son.
Yeah.
And right about now we're supposed to meet. So I texted. It was a whole issue. It's a whole family thing.
Amazing. Okay. He was that age when this episode started. Now he's like a graduate from university.
That's my Jamesy over there.
Little guy.
Aww.
James.
We didn't even have color film back then.
Wow.
Go.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Do you remember that photo?
I remember it well because that's not even digital. That's film, brother.
Film.
I didn't even have a digital camera yet. That's how old my... Yeah. Nostalgia. We had film in our cameras.
Those were the days.
Let me tell you.
Archie Bunker. Okay. Anyway. Stu Stone was here.
All the way Glenn Miller played.
It was quite a day.
Stu Stone.
Stu Stone and Cam Gordon were in the basement on the same day.
Mind blow.
Did not cross
Super
paths.
Weird.
Did not cross. That's weird. But because Stu postponed. He's one of the many people. So it wasn't supposed to be
I'm trying to think what he talked about now. Was this like
it was a great fucking episode.
So this was my favorite.
Oh, no, it was his like California.
This was my favorite solo Stu up because he told a great story, and it's much longer than this clip, but about his LA origin.
That's just similar with Bedini. I feel like you can now laser point some of the missing links in the Stu Stone story.
Yeah.
So let's listen to Stu talking about his LA days.
I actually learned stuff on this.
Within the first day of being at the Oakwoods and mingling with other child actors, I go to this party that Ben Savage walks into this party, and he's a big deal at the time, I guess, because Boy Meets World,
yeah.
And he walks in with Phil Glasser. And the two of them come in, and they're sort of like the king shits of this party. And I'm the new guy, like no one knows me yet, but they will. And somehow or another, I get to talking with Phil, and he telling me that he was Fievel the Mouse, and I couldn't believe that he was.
That's a mind blow.
I didn't watch Boy Meets World, but I watched American Tail. So I was marking out for...
So Ben would be like, oh, you're the brother of Fred Savage. Like, he would just be...
he was... Ben... It was a very successful show.
No, I mean, to you who wasn't watching Boy Meets World,
I got
you'd be
along,
like, oh, you're the Wonder Years guys.
And I got along with Ben, by the way. We were friends.
Okay.
But Phil and I hit it off because he was a voiceover guy.
Right.
And I had come from my background at that point was Magic School Bus and all these other things going on. Like Phil and I were speaking the same language.
My Pet Monster.
So Phil he ended up staying in our studio apartment with us. Okay. Within a month, we got kicked out of the Oakwoods because we were 3 teenagers with no parents and no rules, and we were throwing parties, and we were getting Wu-Tang Clan to like buy us beers or whatever the hell we were doing. We got kicked out of there. And the 3 of us moved into a place in Encino, California. The only reason why we moved to Encino is because we knew the movie Encino Man.
Right.
And that we had heard of Encino. We didn't know where it was, what it was, but we knew the movie.
Pauly Shore.
So we were like, okay, Encino, that sounds good.
That's funny.
We moved into this place in the apartment. It was a townhouse. In the apartment, the unit was 5A. Which is the same unit as Jerry Seinfeld, I believe, on Seinfeld is 5A
funny.
also. And shout out to Justin Trugman. He has a Korean pop group called 5A, but that's another conversation for another time. The 3 of us lived together in this apartment together, and you have to understand, this is at the height of Devon Sawa's Teen Beat magazine cover. This was like Entourage. Like the show Entourage, that was us. Devin was Vincent Chase, right? And I was like Turtle E and Johnny Drama combined into one. And Phil Glasser was probably a combination of those two. The 3 of us, the parties and you could do a movie on this.
Well, you can make the doc about that then.
It was insane. Needless to say that we didn't last very long in that place either. We got kicked out of there. But we were roommates for the very first formative years of us all being in LA together. Phil was an LA guy, so he kind of showed us the ropes. He showed us where, he introduced us to a lot of people that became our friends. Phil was our guy on the ground. He was our fixer on the ground.
Wow.
And Devin, Devin's career exploded when he moved to LA, so you're welcome. But he ended up landing Idle Hands, and he ended up, doing a movie called Wild America with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, which basically, if you were a teen,
I remember this.
If you're a Teen Beat kid, those are the 2 cover guys that are they're in a movie together. What? So yeah, Devin's career really shot off, and then he obviously did Eminem Stan video,
right?
And he just like was on another level than anybody at that point. And anyway, the fact that all 3 of us have Funko Pops now of characters that we played was pretty cool to me.
All right.
Yeah, just like a really cool story that Stu's never told.
A missing link.
Yeah.
He's still friends
The
with...
LA years of Stu have always been a little hazy on Toronto Mike.
I saw Stu and Devin were at one of the Jays games.
Yes. Yeah, too. I saw that.
Because my friend Lindsay, who I feel like you guys have met, not my sister Lindsay, the other Lindsay, she actually DM'd me. She says, I didn't know Stu was friends with Devin. I loved him.
And you said, listen to Toronto Mike.
Yeah. I've talked, it's so, because like, this is what Stu was doing while like I was at McMaster. Like we had all gone to like university, and Stu took like a very divergent path, but has done so incredibly well. Like I'm so proud and impressed of everything he's done.
When I was crafting my 3-minute speech that took 5 minutes to deliver at the Handlebar at your event, I was thinking about our first meeting in 2018 and how in that initial conversation we had in 2018, June, I think, you talked about this guy you went to high school with, and you were just talking about this Stu Stone guy. And I left that convo, and I remember thinking, I need this guy to introduce me to Stu. I need to talk to Stu. Like he sounded like just this.
How would you even describe it? Like it's a bit of acting, but a bit of music, a bit of podcasting, a bit of pro wrestling, a bit of sports, a bit of retail.
He's remarkable. Yeah. And that got me wondering, okay, so Cam goes to high school with this guy, and then in 2018 they're buds again, but there is a lot of time between those 2 events, like the missing years.
Well, again, without social media and even like texting, like none of us had any idea what Stu was up to. Like I didn't find out about any of this shit to years. Like it's
right. It's fast. It's all remarkable.
Yeah,
it's all remarkable.
Yeah. Anyway, it's honestly so nice to have people from high school that we've been on very different paths, but we're still in each other's lives. So
it's great.
Beautiful.
Anyway, I enjoyed that episode with Stu.
Strong episode of Stu Stone.
Very much so. Last episode to talk about, and this one really hits close to home because what you're going to hear is a conversation between the 2 of you.
Whoa.
Perfect. Just what we need.
Talking about...
We never do that.
The wonderful new book track changes.
Oh, yeah, I got a copy here.
And I said it earlier, but like I can't express to you, Cam, how happy and proud I am of you, for not only publishing this book, which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself, but just all the attention you're getting and all the positive vibes around the book. It's a really wonderful thing that you've done. And I think this clip, I think, really kind of gets to the ethos of track changes. So let's listen to the two of you talk.
This book is somebody with a Canadian perspective. That's key. I'm going to revisit that in a moment. But you took great effort over several years to document this disappearing internet that I came of age in, and many others did. And I'm going to say right now, thank you for doing that.
No, you're welcome. I mean, we've talked about this topic a lot with also folks like Jeremy Hopkin and Mark Weisblot. To say nothing of AI and sort of the slop fest that we live in, but all of these like really shitty Instagram accounts and Facebook groups where you see the same photos over and over, like Toronto memories, and like Jeremy Hopkin, I feel like is going to have like he's going to go like completely postal if he sees like one more of these groups. If it's like, oh, there's Joseph Bloor, I feel like I see that
That's
photo.
a good example.
Yeah. And it's just like, there's no effort put into it. So it's like the people that are actually, I was trying to like actually do the work. Like this stuff is all hiding it's not even hiding in plain
But someone
view.
has to dig it up and polish it and then give it some context and then present it to the seeking public.
Yeah. And that's
like
why
someone's got to do that's work.
Yeah. But
somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to give a shit enough to get that right and then put it out there. And I've been trying to do that since 2002.
Yeah. Well, like one thing that I'm very happy about this book, this is not like an underground book. Everything in here is completely mainstream. It's all lived experience, but it's all fallen out of sight because the URLs are dead or the magazines are out of publication or the phones. We don't use the phones anymore.
We don't use the phones anymore.
I feel like I've been like on that mass between like shitty PR speak and what I actually think about topics, given what we were just talking about 10 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to belabor the book anymore. Yeah. But again, of all the things, and like there's Globe and Mail and CBC coming to do this podcast, and Amber MacArthur and stuff in Vancouver has been awesome. And the launch event in Aussie was a really special night. More than anything, I was just showing this to Tyler. The Toronto Public Library's actually bought like 8 copies of this, and there's already people that alone, because I do want this to be a history book, like a moment in time in a record of shit that actually happened. So it's also like remembered properly, at least in my impression.
Yeah.
As someone who was a music fan, worked at Twitter, did PR for LG, came on Toronto Mike's podcast 100 plus times. All of it I think is all in this book.
Yeah. And it's so like it really hits at the heart of who I think the three of us are, and many of our friends and colleagues. We were all there at this time. We lived it. My first job, I was still in university. I worked at the Hamilton Spectator, and my job for the summer was to catalog every story about every Hamilton musician that had ever run in the Hamilton Spectator.
Wow.
That's fun.
It was great. It was awesome. So I was like in whatever it was, LexisNexis or whatever, pulling up like these old articles about fucking Dave Rave and the Teenage Head and Junk House and all these great Hamilton bands to be repurposed for this thing called Ego Interactive, which was a website that was basically the Hamilton Spectator's entertainment section.
Ego Interactive.
Okay. So Ego
almost a cease and desist, intimate interactive.
But it was like this revolutionary quote unquote thing where there was going to be these multiple feeds, like there were going to be live journalists, there were going to be historical articles. It was all going to feed into this machine, and it would be pushed out into this online magazine.
Like ChatGPT.
Yeah, basically. But like that was, and no doubt that was happening in newsrooms and media outlets across the country where people were like, the internet is finally kind of here and we've got all this content. How can we kind of push it out there? And nobody really knew what to do or how to do it or how to monetize it. Definitely didn't know how to monetize it. But what your book captures is that moment in time and how it impacted us, how it impacted how we consume media. And so I'm just really grateful that it exists.
Well, thank you. And honestly, getting it in the library alone, the fact
huge.
that when I'm dead, at least there'll be a record, because I personally don't think Wikipedia is going to exist long term. I don't think the Internet Archive. I think all this shit's going to go away like most history does. And at least there's this, and this book will become very
That's a
obscure
good point.
quickly.
Yep.
But at least it exists. And I do like also, I do feel like it's good shoulder content to the stuff Michael Barclay did and Johnny Dovercourt and Liz Worth and Sam Sutherland and also like a lot of the books about Canadian tech, like Josh O'Kane, who actually did the Globe feature. He wrote like the Google Sidewalk Labs. What's a BlackBerry book? Losing the Signal, that the movie was based on.
Matt Johnson.
Yeah, like I actually want to put together like a book list of like, it's in the back of this book too. It's like, here's some other shit you should read, because this is all, I'm trying to continue the story of all these writers.
It's good grout, is what that is.
Good grout, yes. I'm nothing if not grout.
We did it. We did it.
Had to interrupt a mid-syllable. Amanda Biles.
God bless her.
Any words, Cam Gordon, before I play your Forgotten CanCon?
No, like as always, I'm glad I thought of this one, because this is like I say this a lot. I genuinely not thought of this song in probably like 30 years. And Tyler, for you, once you recognize it, just speak up. Okay.
Okay. Very familiar.
This sounds like a 100 song.
Well, yeah, that's also true.
Including Atlanta Miles.
7:45 on the radio.
Oh no. I was thinking about Jane Child at first. But
No, it has a Jane Child vibe. Absolutely.
I definitely know this. That is funky.
Very Jane Child, though.
Yeah. Don't want to fall in love.
Don't want to fall in love.
Oh, Woman's Work. Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know why it's not ringing a bell with me.
So you don't know this one?
It's not.
Never done. This song is like late 80s, early 90s Mad Libs.
Yeah, but tell me, like, this is on Much Music?
A little bit. I think it was definitely on the radio. And
Who's the artist?
The artist is Sheree.
I don't even recognize that
I
name.
don't know that name. I know this song.
It's weird.
Yeah,
like I
Tyler
hear
knows
this,
it.
like Jane Child, I Don't Want to Fall in Love. Yes, I don't know why I hear a bit of like Van Halen, Jamie's crying.
Yeah,
like
But I hear Atlanta Miles, like still got this. Yeah, it's got a.
But with those like 80s fake drums.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, 5 fun facts about Sheree here. Sheree Jaycock is her full name. Prior to becoming a solo artist, she worked as a backup singer for, here's some names you might recognize: Gordon Lightfoot, Rita McNeil,
Whoa.
Glass Tiger,
Whoa.
and Kim Mitchell.
Wow.
Even sang on her album. So
I love that inside riff.
I'll never get.
That's for the real heads.
So this song came out in, oh God, I didn't write. I think it's 1990.
89
I think it's
or
about
90,
1990. But Sheree was actually nominated in 1986 for Most Promising Female Vocalist. So that award was won by Kim Richardson. Don't really know who that is.
Yeah.
The other nominees were Chantel Condor, Francisca Gagnon, and Siobhan Crawley.
Whoa.
A bunch of
Heavy
household
hitters.
names.
Don't know any of those. The year before was Katie Lang, so at least we know Katie Lang.
There you go.
Sheree didn't do a lot that was too visible in the music business after this. 1994, she did do the theme for something called Wild CATS, Wild Cats, co-produced by Nelvana. I would say this was like a Dollarama version of X-Men. Interestingly, someone who's an FOTM did some voice work.
Oh.
And it's not Sue Stone.
Melody.
No. That's a very good guess. I'll say a male.
Okay.
I think he identifies as male.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it because I don't think you're going to get it, and we've been going 2.5 hours. Dean McDermott.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, played the character Warblade.
Okay.
Warblade.
Wow.
Okay.
And Sheree, much like other musicians, including Sammy Cohn and Bill Jovanovich from Buffalo Tom, now works as a real estate agent. She
Okay.
works for Remax.
Drumming up results.
Yeah, has some good stuff in Lee's side right now.
I yelled that out at the handlebar.
Yeah, so
Drumming up
Sheree.
results.
This is not a bad song. Like it's totally fine.
It's generic, but it is of the time.
yeah,
And
definitely of the
I don't
time.
know why I don't recognize it. I feel shame. I was listening to 680 and I was listening to 640 and I was watching Much Music, and I don't think this song. I was listening to Q107 at the time.
Did not resonate.
No, even CFNY. I'm now listening to CFNY, and none of those stations.
Kate Bush had a song.
This woman's work.
This woman's work.
I was just the SEM on this is horrible, or the SEO. Like it's very hard to find this.
89,
song.
by the way, is the year of that
yeah.
song.
And do you
89.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have. Do you know who co-wrote this song?
Jim Valance.
Dean Taggart.
No, but it is an FOTM.
Who?
It's not Jim Valance then.
Lou
okay.
Pomanti.
Oh, Lou Pomanti.
Yeah.
Sorry, who's that again?
So we saw him at the Massey Hall doing that.
He was the
Hall of
the musical director
But
at the Canadian.
He's been on
Songwriters
Toronto Mike. He's a friend of James B.
Okay, that tracks.
FOJB.
And this song was covered by Tina Arena.
Yes.
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
came up-
Yeah.
She came up in Toronto Mike at
Yeah.
some point. Tina Arena.
Anyway,
is that maybe the Lou Pomanti episode?
I feel like it was more
I
recent
think-
than that.
Okay, more recent than that. Okay, we get
Anyway, final comment about this, Mike. I don't know if you
Then I'm
remember.
going into next thing.
I texted you this song in like January. It's like I'm totally gonna
Did I
forget
know it
that
then?
this is my pick.
Did I know it then?
I'm not sure. Anyway, so I've been sitting on this
because I didn't listen, and now I listened for the first time, and it did not ring a bell.
Well, a woman's
I
work
feel
is never
shame.
done.
Indeed. Yeah.
I feel shame. All right.
Mike doesn't respect women's work. Oh, baby. Lexicon Corner. Got some hot stuff here. Very hot stuff.
Because I have a suggestion too.
Okay,
so
what do
go
you
ahead.
got?
Well, I was going to suggest. I noticed in that clip you played from what clip? Who's the Love Inc. girl again? I can't remember.
Simone Denny.
Simone Denny. I
Simone
know
Denny.
this. I know this. She's a beloved FOTM.
What beautiful mind stuff have you got
I was
going on
gonna
this
say.
piece of paper?
You're not allowed to see that. Obviously, I'm writing my Elmo show in the back of this.
Okay,
So
okay.
she says, Simone's not here, is what she says, because
Yeah.
it's Love Inc. is going to play
Right.
somewhere. And she goes, Simone's not here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that's a good way, like, instead of like, you buffied me, you bailed, but Simone's not here is like, I wasn't there.
What's that restaurant?
It's the opposite.
Fred's not
yeah,
here?
that's on King Street. Yeah.
That's right.
Beside D'Angelo's place.
Yeah, right by. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
this place,
Forget
exactly.
about it.
So it's the inverse of
Alan Cross wasn't there.
Alan
Simone's
Cross.
not here.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
The inverse is Simone's not there. Like I wasn't there. Like
Yeah.
it's like you're.
I chose not to be there.
You're more of a positive thing that I
Yeah.
wasn't there.
That's
Right.
The shit went down there, but
Yeah, I was.
Simone's
That's
not there.
interesting.
I like that.
Just a thought.
Okay. Well, and that's a perfect time to bring it up because it is Lexicon, right?
Right. That's I held on to it for now. Yeah.
We had the appearance of a new character in Q1, and I call
That's
this
exciting.
character Angry Keenan.
Oh.
Angry Keenan.
Okay.
So let's listen to Angry Keenan for
Love
just
it.
a few seconds.
Okay.
That's the most sanctimonious bullshit fucking thing I've ever heard, right? No, I mean, Lanrick may have a disability that prevents him from understanding like humor or whimsy or anything like that. And so I don't want to pick on people who have that kind of condition, like those people who can't detect sarcasm or irony or anything like that.
Sure.
He's hot.
Yeah, that's Lanrick Bennett Jr.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
referring
trying to
our
remember
mutual
what this
friend.
was about. Yeah.
So it was there was like a thing in the Star where people were like basically writing in their suggestions for what like how we could improve Toronto. And somebody wrote in and said, in the winter, we should turn the bike lanes into like a skating track.
All right.
And Lanrick.
Yeah, Lanrick's like, no, we need bike in the
Yeah.
winter. We still bike in the
Yeah.
winter. Lanrick and I are the only two maybe, but we're biking
Right.
all winter
Right.
long.
And Ed Keenan fucking lost his
Yeah,
mind.
that is Angry Keenan, and he
Yeah.
was supposed to be here yesterday. By the way,
Yeah.
he also postponed. He's going to be here April 8th.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Angry Keenan.
Angry Keenan. We heard him.
I love it.
Yeah.
Was that
He
a
was fired up.
Was that a serious idea though? The bike, like the skate? How
No,
would
I
that
think
work?
it was. I don't think it was. I think it was more like just a fluffy little.
Yeah, and
star.
logistically, it
engagement.
could never happen.
No,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't think
idea.
it was meant to be taken so seriously. But Lanrick felt it was
And Ed Keenan lost
showing
his
more like the
fucking
Toronto
mind.
Star, showing more like we don't need to maintain bike
I was gonna
lanes in the
say,
winter.
But his duties as a Toronto bike mayor, he needs
But he's
to
no
speak
longer
up
the
on
bike
his-
mayor.
Oh, he's not. Oh,
Allison Stewart.
Oh, yes.
is the
FOTM,
bike mayor.
Allison
Yeah.
Stewart.
And apparently
Yeah.
that's a 2-year term because we just had a
I think you're
Longfield,
I think
Michael
you're up next.
Longfield. We need a new bike mayor.
Yeah, I think you're up next.
Missed that update.
It might be Tyler Campbell.
Well, we'll
tune
see.
in.
We'll see. We'll see. Only in the
All right,
summer.
one more clip.
All right. One more clip. But this is actually this is a surprise. This is a new stinger because we have a new segment within Lexicon Corner.
Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch. When we kiss.
Trigger warning. Danger. Trigger warning. We got some Toronto Mike triggers. I don't know if you remember that from an
I
early,
do remember, yeah.
an early FOTMcast.
Right.
Young and Charles. If I were to say Young and Charles to you, what would you say?
I would tell you I lived there.
That's right. David
I was in
Bronstein
university.
came up with David Bronstein.
I was at 30 Charles Street West.
Toronto Mike lived at Young
across
and Charles.
from
I don't know
the
if anyone knew that.
brass rail.
That's right.
Above the no longer present
I used
Uptown Theater.
I used to park under that building when I worked. At,
Was it in the
Yeah,
tall?
I didn't own a car when I lived there.
The tall building there.
Well,
Like,
there's one. There's a
sushi
30
thing?
and a 35 across
Yeah.
the street, and they were University of Toronto family residences.
'Cause you were a family man.
Yeah. So if you were a family, and I'm at U of T, and I'm I'm a family person
Yeah,
on
yeah,
U of T, subsidized rent, and
Oh,
I had
wow.
a bachelor apartment there, and I remember cutting the check every month for $429.
Reasonable.
What a time! in the
Eminently
city.
reasonable.
Yeah, and that's mid 90s.
Amazing.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
All right.
So that is a
Young and
trigger.
Charles.
Yes.
You can't say Young and Charles without me dropping that on you.
You can't do it. Mix 99.9. What would you say, Mike?
Oh, Humble Howard. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Humble Howard was the first person to say
That's right.
Mix 99.9.
This came up the other
That
day
did
with
come up the other day.
Jeff Vidler.
Jeff Vidler.
That's right.
Which
Okay.
was I thought was a pretty good chat with
yeah.
Jeff.
Last one, rapid fire.
Well, you want to know who Jeff Vidler's brother is?
Who is Jeff Vidler's brother?
FOTM Chuck McCoy.
Okay.
1050.
Oh, yeah,
He was on the 1050 episode.
I remember that. Chuck
That's how we
McCoy.
got
That's a deep cut.
Cam could give a fuck.
Is he Chuck Vidler or is
No, I mean Chuck
Jeff
McCoy is a fake name. I think
that
Jeff
sounds
Vidler's
fake.
a real name.
Chuck
Chuck
McCoy
McCoy.
sounds fake.
Chuck McCoy.
Okay, last one. Hughes Room. What do you say to Hughes Room?
Oh, Jane Harbury.
There it is.
Okay, I got some triggers, brother. I got like a jukebox. You can play.
You
me
are like
here.
a jukebox.
Danger, danger.
Oh, I like it though.
Coming
that
back.
zinger.
Jack White's on this track actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's the band? Electric Six.
Electric
Is that-
Six.
Yeah.
Danger.
It's a fun track.
High voltage.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Almost there.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
I'm so fucking late.
Shout out to Midtown Door. We're going to be so fast here.
Okay, I'm supposed to meet somebody in the junction at 1 o'clock.
Okay, we're going to get you out of here. Okay, as always, if you hear anything that sounds awry, off, please email me, fotmcast@gmail.com. Our team of fact
I'm going to
checkers
start
are
writing
on it.
that address.
Please do. There could be a very high value prize coming your way.
Okay.
Let's get into it. On the first toast of the quarter, Metal Jams, we had a rare double whammy.
Uh-oh.
New
I
Hall
hate
of
this
Famer.
section, by the way. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, you did. I love it. A new Hall of Famer, Bob Willett, said that the lead singer of Catherine Wheel was Rob Halford's brother.
Yeah.
But then someone on the live stream corrected him to say that the lead singer, Rob Dickinson, is actually the brother of Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, and that is incorrect. Rob is Bruce's cousin. No doubt everyone involved
Hey,
Double
regrets the
I
error.
don't mind that one because I didn't make that.
Yeah,
error.
you weren't involved in that one.
Thank God.
It's
Mark-
understandable though.
It is understandable.
Yeah,
it is
it's
understandable,
okay.
but wrong. Ultimately wrong.
Fucking love.
I should have known better to correct
Yeah, they're a great
them.
band. Mark Medley, Globe
Oh.
and Mail opinion editor.
Yeah.
With respect to Fergie Ulver, said, I never saw him play.
He wouldn't have been televised. He didn't reach a level.
What I think
he played pro
what
ball.
I think
Okay,
I think
yeah.
this is more of a misunderstanding or a misremembering. I think what Mark is referring to is Canadian great Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins.
Oh wow!
I think that's what Mark
That's
is.
a big name.
Ferg botch.
Yes, a Ferg botch.
Okay. Because I let it go because Fergie did play a high level
He
of
did,
ball.
yeah,
and I
but
wasn't sure.
a long
But
time ago. Not in Mark's lifetime.
Anywhere that had been on television.
Actually, Mike, do you remember Fergie Oliver?
It's not Oliver, brother.
Oliver.
By the way, guess who's in the calendar
just
for next?
cell-phoned.
Carrie Oliver.
Carrie Oliver
Did she
returns.
postpone?
No.
Okay.
Well, they did postpone once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
they
go.
were supposed to
Okay.
last quarter, but Kim McDonald postponed. So it's going to be both of them together. They're both from they were
That's
on the
right. They've
Weather
been on
Network
together
together, and
before.
they're friends.
Yeah.
But they have never been on together.
Have they?
No.
Okay.
Because
because Kim was on
Carrie
with her
came on
husband.
with her dad,
Yes,
Fergie
yes,
Oliver,
yes.
and came on solo.
Yeah.
And Kim McDonald came on with her husband, Chris Pack.
Yes, I remember that.
And they kicked it, and Kim came on solo.
Yes.
So this will be Carrie Oliver and Kim McDonald.
Amazing. I can only assume that Mark Medley regrets that grave error. Finally, on the Sean and Dunk episode,
Yeah.
our very own Toronto Mike made the grave error.
I made a mistake.
Referring to the Tim Robinson Netflix sketch comedy show, I think you should leave as maybe you should leave. Toronto Mike, without question or reservation,
like that show.
do
That's
you
okay.
regret the error?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
But I will say that is a great fucking show.
It's a great show.
For a ride on a slow bus to China. Tell me where in the world is
Stu Stone.
Greetings, Toronto, Michael. It's your boy Stu Stone, Hall of Famer Stu Stone. And you want to know where in the world is Stu Stone? I'm actually in Toronto right now for the holidays, Passover. Happy Passover to those celebrating. Hopefully you're not eating carbs this week. Happy Easter to those celebrating this weekend. And if there's any other holiday that I'm missing out on, happy that as well. Happy Blue Jay season. Happy Leafs tanking season. Happy Raptors hopefully make the playoffs season as well. Shout out to Cam Gordon, whose book is out and available now.
Track changes.
His event looked spectacular. Can't wait to hear all about it. Hopefully he's going to be mentioning that or already has mentioned it on this episode. And I'm
Simone's
looking
not
forward
there.
to listening to it. I will be traveling, in case you are wondering. I'm heading to Las Vegas in a few days with the great Doug Flutie. More on that in the future. Then I'll be in Los Angeles. Then I'll
Remarkable.
be back in Las Vegas, back in Los Angeles, and then back in Toronto, hopefully in early May, to pay another visit to the basement. Love you, Mike, and love to the FOTM universe, to the FOTM cast members, and of course to the friends of Stu Stone, the FOSSs.
That's Cambrio.
Yes. We did it.
And Linda, as I recall. There was at least two, I recall. Yeah, gentlemen, so I know this was long. Let me see how long it was.
I think we're like two and a half.
We're at 240.
That's not bad.
But part of the problem was Cam's TTC issues.
Yeah,
we didn't start on time.
That's fine.
I need to leave earlier.
I
think you
envision
should
this
leave
being.
earlier.
I envision these episodes being 2 hours. Am I out to
that's
lunch?
never going to happen.
Yeah.
2.5. I think.
But you know, there's an episode we never talked about because we were talking about fewer episodes. But there's one that I thought was really strong.
What was
with
that?
kind of an interesting person.
Yeah.
That did not get discussed. So I wanted to shout it out now on the way
Please
out.
do.
Andy Stochansky.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised Andy's
Yeah.
on the cutting room floor of
Yeah,
FOTMcast.
that was mostly because it was like almost 2 a.m. and I was tired.
Oh, did you listen? Did you listen to Andy?
I did
Stochansky?
listen to Andy
Okay.
Stochansky. Yeah.
And Blair and his lady friend were also in attendance.
and that was the woman he went to
Germany or something.
Germany with, and
Yeah.
was had some feelings for it.
So
Caught,
like
caught some feelings.
Were they rollerblading? Am I wrong? What am I thinking of? Anyway, as you
I
were.
think you're thinking of Peter Gross.
Okay, right. Touche.
That's great. Peter
Touche.
Gross. Oh, he didn't make the cut either. There was some. So I don't know. I'm just.
What do you want to do, Mike?
You can't do it all. Can't do
you
it
know,
all.
I don't like.
Go
the
see
remote-
your boy.
I'm in trouble. I gotta go see your boy.
boy.
But
Yeah,
I
get outta
gotta
here.
let the song finish anyway. So I could just tell you that I am busy.
Yeah.
I still love Toronto Mike. I don't have time to chase the big names. I felt like maybe we didn't have enough big names in the first quarter, and I carry that with me. Like, I need to deliver these big names, and Andy Stochansky is not a big name. Bruce McCullough is a big name, and he canceled 3 times, and I found that frustrating. But I aim to do better in quarter 2.
Don't be so
But I
hard on
thank you
yourself.
guys, because Tyler, you did a lot of work.
Always a
And
pleasure.
Cam, it's a long way for you to travel.
Anytime.
And I appreciate you both that we get to do this every quarter and make Mike Epples' day. Because he listens to every syllable and then tells me he wishes it was longer.
Amazing.
And so does Lieve Fomka.
Yeah.
Well, we love Lieve Fomka.
Bunch of sickos.
Lieve's back at work, and we're happy to hear it.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,874th show. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs and buy a ticket or two to see me at the Elma Combo on May 21st. Much love to all who made this possible. That is Great Lakes Brewery. I got beer for you guys. Palma Pasta, Nick Ieni's, recyclemyelectronics.ca. That's where you go with old cables, old electronics. You don't throw that in the garbage. The chemicals end up in our landfill. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. And Ridley Funeral Home. I have a new trinket for you. It is like a bottle opener. It's a flashlight.
Oh,
it's measuring tape.
Very excited for this.
What?
It is a level.
A Swiss Army knife gimmick.
Whoa.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mike.
my goodness.
Ow! Courtesy of Ridley Funeral Home. Don't cut yourself on that bottle opener.
What is this?
Guys, everybody, I'm back Monday.
Wow.
Just need a battery.
No, I'm
This light
not.
doesn't work.
Monday's a holiday. Dave Herlo. Do you guys remember the Darcys?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dave Herlo from the Darcys is going to visit at
Okay.
11 a.m.
All
on
right.
Tuesday.
That's cool.
See you all then.
Bye.